What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Thursday night live stream. We got a lot of stuff to get into tonight. On one hand, it feels like a lot of stuff. On the other hand, it feels like I don't have very much to do. But I think the world is our oyster tonight because it's kind of a celebration. 5 years of the channel. We hit the 5-year milestone 4 days ago. So this is like the most recent live stream since then. So we hit that, so we've got some great pours to try tonight, including the William Heavenhill 19 year that everyone is, I feel like everyone's kind of wondering about this one. Very few of them out there so far, more to come. It sounds like maybe sometime next week and certainly into the future. So we've got that. We got a little Wild Turkey Tribute Export, 110 proof, pretty much the, one of the greatest Dusties of all time. Certainly probably the greatest Dusty Wild Turkey, I would say. Got Stagg 25A. We've got a 16-year single barrel rye from Penelope. There's only like 80 or so bottles of this from the Kentucky Bourbon Festival release. And then all sorts of things we can do. So I think we're probably going to get into some blind tastings tonight. Maybe even some blind ratings. We've also got, I forgot about this. I found it today. Ran over to the liquor store today, the new Yellowstone LE, which actually has a 10-year age statement on it. We'll talk about that. We'll get into that probably early on in the night because it's a little bit of a lower proof. But very excited for tonight's live stream. For me tomorrow, I know, my schedule's always different. I'm always doing different stuff. I don't have any performances this week. This week I've just been like dealing with gear. Like I rented some of my gear to Ohio State and this and that. And so I don't have to wake up for a dress rehearsal tomorrow, so we might go a little bit later for tonight's stream. We will find that out together. I'm going to try to keep it cool, though. But yeah, I don't have to be anywhere tomorrow till like 5:30 p.m., which is great. So we do have a giveaway tonight. I also have a bug flying around in here, so if you see me start swatting at something, that's what's going on. We've got a giveaway tonight. If you check the description of the video, we're going to give away 5 prizes for 5 years, all right? And I'm sorry I didn't make it like 5 bottle prizes. There are 2 bottle prizes. And then everybody that wins the giveaway is going to get the same sample pack. So no one's going to like miss out on the samples. It's going to be the same exact sample pack. Even the person that wins the bottle, which is the first prize of Spiritus Draconis, which is this hazmat short barrel that we got from River Roots. Even for the person that wins this bottle, they're going to get a sample of it as well. So I guess you can decide what you do with it. If you want to not crack this bottle or whatever, I think after you drink the sample, you're going to crack this bottle. But everyone gets the same exact stuff. If you do check that out, I think the greatest hits of that sample pack are like this, the Turkey Tributes in there. This, Critical Mass, is a 19-bottle short barrel. That pretty much nobody has. It's 152 proof, 13.5-year Barton, Stagg 25A, the 16-year Penelope. The friggin' William Heavenhill is going to be in every one of the sample packs. Oakley 136 proof, the new Yellowstone. I think that's it. And the second place winner, as you guys see if you read the description, is also going to get a bongo wood. So 2 bottles, 5 sample packs, 5 winners. It's going to be a great giveaway tonight. So you can get your entries in as normal, super chats in the live chat or Venmo Patreon or Venmo PayPal. That information is also in the description of this video. So any questions, let me know. I'll try to remember to talk about the giveaway later in the stream, but I just want to get into tasting some stuff. And we're going to probably kick it off as we normally do here with some Eagle Rare. And again, because the 12's out, I've been going to the Eagle Rare 12 as the warm-up pour for all these live streams. So I'm going to say cheers to you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Please do hit the like button. Let's get a few more folks in here this evening. Maybe we can cross the 200-person threshold. We kind of do that sometimes. It just depends on the evening. Depends on the football schedule and everything else. But I think, with the William Heavenhill and a few other really great pours, we might get a few more folks in here. So cheers and thanks for hanging out, guys. I did eat tacos before the stream. I ate 7 because I've been fasting, guys, just intermittent fasting. I know it's like such a freaking dad thing to say these days, you know what I mean? So lame, kind of. But I've been doing anywhere from 18 to 20 hours fasted every day and then eating in like a 4 to 6 hour window. I've been feeling so much better, so much energy, getting a lot of stuff done. You guys see a lot of videos being edited, dropping on the channel. Patreon has gotten already 4 videos exclusively to Patreon, so that's a little bit of my pitch to you to join the Patreon, $5, $10 a month. But I've been feeling great, but then, today I was like, I don't mess around on live stream days. I got to get enough food in my stomach so I don't die on these streams. So I had 5 tacos up front, waited an hour, had 2 more tacos. Now we're into the stream right now. They are pretty healthy tacos, so it's all good. Let me see who's hanging out tonight. I think I see some stuff coming in here. All right. Cheers, guy. Good to see you, man. 5 years. Yeah, Terry, 5 years for the channel. What the heck, man? It's funny. Go back and look at those early videos. Actually, please don't do that because it's insane. I'm not looking at the camera. I'm looking at the screen. And I'm talking real slow and enunciated. It's pretty tough. It's pretty bad. 5 years of lateness, says Sla. There we go. Oh, man. Good to see everybody. I'm just kind of scrolling through the list real quick. What's everybody's celebratory pour tonight? Yeah, let me know what you guys have in the glass. Terry with a great one. Oh, there we go. Came back. Terry's got Sarah's Evernorth pick, the better barrel. We all know. Sarah's not home right now, guys. When she gets home, I'm going to just make sure everything's cool. I haven't heard from her all night. She's hanging out with some friends, as she normally does most Thursdays, because she knows this is going to happen. Joe says he's trimming the hedges. That was last night, bro. It's not even 10 o'clock. Can't say that yet. I can't put that on the screen, Jesse. Hat free, ready for spot. Yeah, I'm ready for Adam to send another hat, or send $100 to put on his hat. So sourdough's a possibility. We'll see, man. There goes the morning, straight to unicorn auctions. You guys are funny. Tom Lonzo, thank you for the super chat, man. A freaking generous one too, dude. In for 10. I appreciate you. Thank you, Tom. Says, I look forward to not winning. Yeah, because Adam's going to win all 5 prizes. Anthony Peters, thank you for the super chat, man. In for 4. Appreciate that. Says, congrats on 5 years. Looking forward to the Yellowstone LE review. The only attainable LE on the table. Yeah, and some people have been saying, like, that it's funny when people that also review hard-to-find whiskey say that you're trying to flex by reviewing hard-to-find whiskey. I always think that's just, like, real rich. But that does happen. And so I will say, like, yes, there are some things, of course, that I'm always going to talk about that are unattainable. But I try to mix other things in there as well. And, with the current state of the market right now, it feels like things are becoming more available. I mean, I know Blanton's is Blanton's, but I never used to be able to walk into a store, like, after the drop here in Ohio and just walk up to the counter and get a Blanton's. That never used to happen for me. And I know that's one very small data point, but I think everything else is starting to become more available, it feels like. And, the Penelopes actually, interestingly, feel pretty available. Like, even online links for the 13-year Founders Reserve. I thought that was pretty crazy to see a link get posted today in the Discord. Anyways, Anthony, thank you for the super chat, man. Sorry to go on a tangent there. Tony Bag of Donuts, thanks, bro. In for 5 says, let's kick it off. Congrats, Cam. Thank you, Justin. Congrats on 5 years. Thank you, Justin. I got you in for 1, man. And Michael Phelps, not the real Michael Phelps, but also the real Michael Phelps. In for 4. Thanks, bro. Says, good evening, all. Okay. All right, let's get into a review straight away. I don't want to get too distracted, I say as I look around. So we're going to pour this. This is a brand new bottle. Like I said, I mean, I picked this up probably 5 hours ago. I didn't really, honestly, haven't thought about Yellowstone LEs in a long time. I used to buy these every year. The 2020, I remember the 2020 was tragic. The Armagnac finish. And that was back in the days, like, if you guys remember in 2020, one of my all-time favorite bottles, Chateau de la Baude Batch 1, had just dropped. And then we get the Yellowstone Armagnac LE, and I think everyone's like, oh shit, more Armagnac finishes. And back then, I mean, Magnus Cigar Blend was in its somewhat infancy, and those were bangers. Chateau de la Baude was a banger. So I went into the Yellowstone, I remember in 2020, with high hopes, and it was just terrible. It was just so nutty and so bad. But then they followed up, actually, the next couple of years of the Yellowstone LEs were pretty darn good. There was one, I think, that had an Amarone finish that I really liked. Tasted kind of like Neapolitan ice cream. Just had a lot of dessert ice cream shop notes, and that wine finish really set it off. But this is what's interesting about this year's. 10-year age statement on the front. And it's a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys. And if you look at the side label, it says distilled in Kentucky and Indiana. So this is relevant today, and I'll tell you why. I just dropped this review today, and I was sitting down editing it this morning. This is the Penelope Private Select. That review went out at 6 p.m. When I recorded this, I was under the impression that this was all MGP because a lot of the Penelope stuff in the past has been. This year, the Omega is pretty much assumed to be Heavenhill, and the Founders Estate or Founders Collection, whatever it is, Founders Reserve, that's also 13-year Heavenhill. I did not know that the Private Select this year is a blend of Indiana and Kentucky. That's why in the review I was like, man, it kind of smells like weeded Heavenhill. It might not be weeded, but there's certainly Heavenhill in here. So, because of the acquisition of Luxco, MGP's acquisition of Luxco, which isn't this related to Luxco or no? Maybe I'm full of shit right now. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Is this Luxco? Now I'm questioning myself. Yellowstone is separate, isn't it? Or did they get acquired? Oh no, I think I'm screwing it up. Doesn't matter. Companies don't matter. What matters is that I was shocked to find that this is Kentucky and Indiana. Shocked to find on the shelf today that this is Kentucky, Indiana. We're off to a strong start, huh? Okay, there we go. And I think traditionally the Yellowstone has always been Kentucky. Did they get acquired by MGP? Did Yellowstone Bourbon get acquired by MGP? Let's see if the old AI will tell me. Oh, so I didn't realize Luxco was the parent company. I mean, I guess I knew that in the back of my mind. So okay, there we go. They were acquired. We're good. I'm not an idiot. So I think what would be good to do, and I promise guys, I'm going to keep it up with these super chats. I think what's going to be good to do is compare the Yellowstone to the Penelope Private Select. Now the Penelope gives you a composite mash bill, 74 corn, 1 wheat, that's funny, 5 barley, and 20 rye, so mainly a rye bourbon. And the Yellowstone gives you no such breakdown. But I think the component parts are going to be pretty similar with the 10-year age statements, the proof point 106.8 versus 105. I mean, who knows? Maybe they just use the same blend at different proofs. Wouldn't that be crazy? Yeah, Luxco owns half of Yellowstone, says Toshi. What's up, Toshi? Good to see you, man. So let's see what this is all about. There's no finishing on... I'm going to get a little more in the glass. No finishing on the Yellowstone. So it's just a blend of straights. Yeah. 3 unique mash bills are in the blend, it says. I wonder how many mash bills were in the Private Select blend. Can anybody look that up real quick on their website? I think it might be available on their website how many went into it. I think I looked at it earlier today. It smells good. I mean, the Yellowstone smells good. You can smell the MGP in it. That's for sure. All right, Sippin' Rager, says Michael Phelps. Awesome, man. Jason Hyman, thank you for the super chat. In for 2, says loving that sample. What sample, Jason? You mean the sample pack? Or what are you drinking? Okay. The Penelope Private Select is more like sour tropical fruit, which I did kind of talk about in the review today. The Yellowstone is sweet. It's like Kentucky sweet. Yeah. This has that kind of like the same thing that a lot of those low-proof Heavenhill barrels can get. Which is why, Cafe Cadence is called what it is, because it smells like you walked into a cafe. This has that same kind of sweetness actually on the nose. But you can still smell some of that like MGP DNA in here. Teeny bit of yeastiness from the MGP, but nothing crazy. Like not off-putting. And then you just get a lot of like vanilla sweetness, it feels like that kind of like grainy vanilla sweetness that you can sometimes get from MGP. I I don't dislike this on the nose. It's a $120 bottle, at least here in Ohio. SRP, I think, is $120. It could be $100. I'm not sure. All right. Thad, thank you for the super chat. Put you on the screen and never said anything. Got you in for one. Says 5 for 5. Congrats. Thanks, man. Big Potato. Where's that William Heavenhill Unobtainium? Here it is. We're not going to get to it up front here. It's 138.2. We got to work our way up to that. We got a lot of stuff to taste first. Jesse says, I still can't walk into the state store and get Eagle Rare 10. I feel like the day is coming, Jesse. Although you can walk in, from what I hear, correct me if I'm wrong, someone told me that Knob Creek 21 is sitting all over Pennsylvania. If that's true, it should not be. It's so good. Chris, thank you for the super chat, man. In for 4. Says, this is the longest I've committed to anything. Love the D. And D. Thanks, Chris. All right, so let's compare this to the Penelope. Get a feel for it, especially how it drinks. The nose on the Yellowstone is way more up my alley. Nose is Kentucky. I'd say it's like 70-30 Kentucky, Indiana on the nose of the Yellowstone. The palate is more 50-50. It feels like more MGP influence coming out on the palate than it is on the nose. Whereas the Penelope on the nose, heavy MGP influence. It's very tart tropical fruit. The palate is a little bit better. On the Penelope, though, there's more spice, probably coming from high rye MGP that might be blended in here. A little more spice. It carries a little bit further. It's not as sweet. So this is interesting. It's like, for me, I'd rather smell the Yellowstone and I'd probably rather drink the Penelope. But if I had to choose a profile that I liked better, I would choose the Yellowstone. So I wonder if anybody out there, anybody in the chat tonight has tried either of these in 2025. I feel like the Private Select this year from last year is probably different from Penelope, but what about the Yellowstone? Has anybody tried that? All right. Oh man, the nose on the Yellowstone is, I love it. Traditional 5-year anniversary gift is wood, so keep that in. I didn't read that. I should have read that up front, man. Current market feels very bifurcated, says Tom. Like there's a moving heavy line between what is not obtainable versus what is now just sitting on shelves. Yeah, it is funny. I mean, but I think, Tom, what you see, especially with like Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, the states that aren't selling their allotments of that stuff aren't getting more from their distributors. They're not getting the new batches, and there's a backup, it seems like. Hopefully the sitting on shelves does end up correlating to a drop in quality, which can hopefully show these companies that they need to put their best foot forward and stop premiumizing their brands and, adding $300 bottles every year. More $300 bottles every year. Toshi, funny you say I saw a case of Blanton's for $69.99 at a local liquor store. That wasn't typical. Congrats, by the way. Got a Venmo on the way. Thank you, Toshi, man. I appreciate you. All right, we're going to keep scrolling here. Luxco on tap. So, oh, man, I'm pretty far behind. I am 5 minutes behind. Sean Holtgrave, thanks for the super chat. I'm going to do one more sip of this Yellowstone. I like it, man. I really do. I think it's probably like in that 79 range, score-wise, 77 to 79. I think it belongs in that area, I don't remember what I gave the Penelope in the video today. I think it was like a 78. Yeah. All right. So do I recommend the Yellowstone? Probably not at the price point, I feel like $120. I probably want a little bit more of an experience than I'm getting from this. But if you want something really sweet and something to kind of approximate those low-proof Heavenhill single barrels that sometimes float around, I think Short Barrel has had some. River Roots has had just a couple over the last 2 years. I think this is about as close to that profile as you can probably find in like a mainstay release on the market. While you pull your foot out of your mouth, says Sean. Thank you, man. I got you in for 4. Yeah, I do that. I used to read ahead a lot more on these chats, and I have gotten worse at that. Daniel, thank you, man. Starting off with the first barrel pick we ever did. And Daniel's been here pretty much since day 1. So, Jason P, thank you. In for 4, says cheers. Cheers right back at you. We got Jeremy in the house, dude. What's up, Jeremy? Jeremy, I'm going to shoot some Scotch Sunday videos finally, dude. And I've got your peated blind queued up on the shelf ready to go. So I'm excited to get into that finally. I'm going to batch a whole bunch of Scotch Sundays. Ryan says the Rager's so good. I'm glad you like it, man. All right, and Austin jumping in with a reminder for everybody. And he doesn't need to do this via Super Chat, but thank you, Austin. With the glassware link. Okay. What are we going to get into next? Now that we're up and running here. If anybody ends up trying the Yellowstone, come back to this video, or if I end up posting a review of it, comment there. I would love to get some opinions on this, because the more I'm sitting here and just like casually revisiting it on the nose, it's getting better and better for me. So it might just be me. It could be some airtime. I don't know. So let's try something. Let's try something a little bit new here. We're kind of jumping up in proof quite a bit, but that's okay. I think the rest of this stuff is going to be pretty high proof, if I'm being honest with you. So this is something that Marshall, who is in the Patreon and the Discord. I met Marshall at Crittenden's. Marshall's a great guy and super generous. Has sent some really cool stuff. And today this arrived. He didn't let me know that he was sending it. It's an Old Dom pick. And we are going to go to Old Dom soon, Old Dominic. I actually need to send an email tomorrow and just get the pick on the calendar officially. I think they're in Memphis. Is that right? Yep, Memphis. This is a 75-13-12 rye bourbon mash bill. So same exact mash bill as some beam stuff, same as Wild Turkey. It's a 7-year single barrel. So this is pretty old for Old Dominic. Their oldest release right now is 8 years old. It's 123.97 proof. And it was picked by Spillway. So I've heard of Spillway from, I think, like Bruzel videos. Color, pretty dark. Pretty dark. Excuse me. All right, so let's see what this is all about. I've been split on my previous Old Dominic barrel pick tastings, single barrel tastings that people have, sent samples of or sent bottles of. I'm like, I've been 50-50, but I think there's so much potential here. That's why I'm excited to go do a barrel pick there. All right, Austin hit us with the glass link, and then he also hit us with the merch link. Thank you, man. So I'll add a couple more entries here for you. All right, Andy. Well, I smell... Ooh. Okay, nice. Some small distilleries, like... I guess I don't know how small Old Dominic is, but some of these places, I feel like in 6, 7, 8 year product, they can pack a lot of stuff in here. Crittenden's is kind of an obvious one. I don't know if Old Dominic is larger or around the same size. I would think it's a little bit larger, but who knows? Lots of KC21 on the shelves, and then Jesse says not exactly sitting all over, maybe in some out of the way stores. My local got 4. I bought the last one at 10:30. Okay, so kind of it sounds like it's location based for sure. Austin, I got you in for 4 more, man. Enjoy the stream, everyone. Not going to be here for the entirety of this. Congrats in advance, Adam, on your multiple wins. Yeah, congrats, Adam. Thanks, Austin, man. And guys, Austin is sending up a Woodford barrel proof rye, so I'm gonna get that tomorrow and get that review out. Hopefully, if I can on Monday. Okay, so let's talk about this Old Dominic now. It's funny because, in one way, the Old Dominic has a little bit of a buff turkey vibe to it, not as abrasively like mango. Buff turkey to me is just so much mango and pineapple. And so sour and tannic unless you get a really good barrel. This has a little bit of that fruit element to it. But then there's also almost like, what would you say? There's sugar cookie sweetness and vanilla frosting in here on the top. There's that fruitiness underneath. And then there's almost like a bread pudding note. That's it. Like a bread pudding kind of dessert thing to this. All right. But it does have like a lot of spice and intensity still, like a lot of oak impact, which the color does suggest too. All right. Yeah, man. That's cool. Marshall, did you try this barrel? Is Marshall here? So, this whiskey, does it go through is this like Lincoln County? And I don't say that because of minerality. I say it because it has like a coffee cake texture on the palate. I don't know if it does. I know they do a Tennessee whiskey. Oh, this says straight Tennessee whiskey. So I don't know. I'm not sure if this goes through Lincoln County or not. It doesn't say it on the bottle. There's a texture to the whiskey on the palate that I absolutely love. This is impressive. And I think these are like $60. Wow. Lido says, drinking some Glendrow 21. Oh, you got a 27 year to celebrate the 5 years. Cheers, man. Lido, I love those old Glendrows. Austin's flying out in the morning. Where are you going, Austin? Scotch Sunday hype. Can't wait for it to return. Yeah, Jesse, I'm going to probably just, instead of trying to think about the order of me reviewing, I might do a similar thing where I just like, behind the scenes, not even on camera, just pull names out of a hat or, do a randomizer. Because sometimes with the Scotch videos, I'm like, oh, I feel like I should make every week kind of progress after the last. No, it doesn't matter that way. I need to just pick one and go. Excuse me. Sean's drinking some Kilkerran heavily peated. It's good stuff. I don't love all Kilkerran, but I do like the heavily peated. Probably the most, actually. Mike G, thank you, man. Thank you for 10 entries, dude. Cheers to 5 years. I'm going to take another sip of this Old Dom. How many of you guys have tried these Old Doms? This is, again, not perfect whiskey, but when you think about this being a $60 bottle, you cannot ask for anything more than this. Wow. All right. Dude. I think this whiskey, when it gets to like 10, 11 years old, and it starts to really get like kind of an aged oak component, you can feel that note peeking through right now, but it's not quite developed enough. You give this 3 or 4 more years in the barrel, and wow, they're going to have something crazy on their hands. And I actually think with this Old Dom stuff, this has been my experience so far. I know a lot of people go crazy for the high rye stuff. I actually think I like this low rye better, this 75-13-12. I think there's just a little bit more flavor to it. And the high rye probably needs more time in the barrel for the spice to kind of fall out a little bit and for it to balance itself. Here, I think at 7 years, you get about as good a balance as you could hope for without just having more time in the barrel, Oh, David, Hazelburn 12-year Oloroso cask. Say no more, man. That's awesome stuff. Any of the Hazelburn Oloroso. I mean, this last year's was okay. I think it was 8 years old, which I need to do a review of. It was okay. But the 15 year they just did 2 years ago? That 12, I mean, killer. Well, Marshall, thank you, man, if you're watching. If you're not watching, catch the replay. I appreciate this pick. This is awesome, and it's great, like, market research for the barrel pick we go do down there in, well, hopefully November. Hopefully before we close on the house. Once we close on the house and we're moving, I am not leaving town for probably like 2 months, unless it's River Roots. Oh, As I'm taking that sip, black tea. There's a black tea note on here. Black tea, coffee cake. Still has like some lively, slightly tropical fruits to it. That sugar cookie sweetness that I talked about, that bread pudding. Yeah, those are all things that I think are great notes. Austin says he's got a date with Adam in Atlanta. Oh, you're going out for the short barrel pick. Say hello to Adam, the winner of tonight's giveaway preemptively. Noah, how much do you think you spend on whiskey per month? Noah, I haven't done my books since April, so I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot of money. It's a few $1,000s probably a month. But that's what the channel's for. Like, that's a lot of the money comes in. Buy the whiskey, even if it's secondary. Obviously, you can't write that stuff off. You can only write off the legit stuff, but the money comes in, buy it secondary, goes out in giveaways here, goes out in Patreon giveaways. Then, sometimes those bottles just end up sitting on the shelf for a while because it's always just new stuff coming in. But yeah, I mean, I think it's not a flex to say this, but it is a few $1,000s a month probably. Some months are very low, and it's about to be very low moving forward as we move into the new house. And some months it's like an absurd amount of money because I'm just trying to get new releases, and this one was just a freaking arm and a leg. It was silly, but amazing, and I'm glad I have it. So I have to I understand that it's not the norm though, and everybody's budgets are very different. Thrasher, what's up, dude? Thank you for the super chat. And for Forces, congrats on 5 years. Thanks, thank you, Thrasher. I can't speak tonight. Eagle Rare 12 year though. It never gets old. Let's do this, guys. Let's do a quick blind. Let's do a quick blind before we keep going, because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go down in proof in a second, and we're gonna put a side by side here that's pretty crazy. We're gonna do a side by side of the Wild Turkey Tribute and the 14-year Master Distillers. So we're gonna do both of these here in a second. I'm gonna blind them. I'll just mix them up myself and close my eyes and add a third dummy glass in there so I don't know what's what. But before we do that, let's do a blind. I see Patreon, Venmo super chats, coming in, and I am almost caught up here in the feed, and then I'll get over to those and start throwing those in every couple minutes. Thank you, Thrasher. And Austin with another one says, I do this to support your glassware merchant. Also, more importantly, hopefully win the G word. Thanks, man. Fingers crossed for Adam. Cheers, Joe. Good to see you, dude. And Kenna in for 5. Thank you. Says, congrats on 5 years, Cam. Second year follower, first time whiskey gambler. Join. Oh no, don't start the gambling. It's degeneracy. Jeremy says, I believe it's Lincoln County on the old Dom mash. Okay. I like it. I actually really like the effect it has on this stuff. And I don't think it would be off-putting to really anybody. Yeah, Slad. There you go. There you go. All right, I'm going to keep scrolling. Jason says, I didn't left 25A on fresh crack, hoping it gets better. We'll get to that. I am going to put that in a blind tonight, too. All right. So this, guys, we've got, if you watched yesterday's What's That Whiskey episode, oh, look at the camera. Look at the focus. Oh, man. New cameras. Look at that. Killing it. Yesterday's What's That Whiskey episode came from Walker. And Walker, I have a lot of samples from Walker. And some of it is probably some of the most amazing stuff that's ever been produced. And I don't know what any of it is. He emails Sarah. I'll hit him up and be like, dude, send Sarah 5 answers to 5 samples you think are appropriate for X. And he'll send it to her, and then she'll print it out, and she'll make these reveal cards. So this could be anything. I mean, legitimately anything from probably the last 10 years or something. So I'm going to pour this. I can't show you because this is not a card. This is a piece of paper. So you guys are going to be blind. I'm blind right now. And I'm going to just make a couple guesses and do a rating. And then this is kind of like a live What's That Whiskey. So we'll keep it tight. We'll keep it short. All right. Casks and Capes. Man, this has kind of an interesting, slightly dusty rye character to it on the nose. Casks and Capes in for 2. Says, huge fan of the channel, cheers to 5 years, and the next 5 being even more epic. Thank you, appreciate it. That's a new name, I think, Casks and Capes, if I remember. Toshi. All right, so on the nose, this is sample 15 from Walker. On the nose, this is like, I know I just went on a tirade in a video for Patreon. This is a Patreon-only tasting where I was like, I don't like green tea in my ryes. What I really mean is I don't like low-proof ryes that are only green tea. So that encompasses kind of like mostly turkey ryes, honestly, and some low-proof MGP ryes. I'm not a big fan of that green tea when it's the only note. This has some of that, but there's also a ton of sweetness behind it. So it does feel like a rye. It feels like a low to medium proof rye, but it smells great. So let's go to the palate. Whoa. It's like sweet lemon meringue. It is lower proof, but it's coating. It's like dessert. It's like a dessert rye. I like this a lot. It's not amazing. It's not in the 90s for me, like in my scoring, whatever my scoring system is, that I'm still have no idea what I'm doing, right? I think this is like 110 proof. I'll call it 112. I'll call it 111. Split the difference. Let's say this is 111 proof 12-year rye. I think it's probably either Willet or MGP. I really like it. I would give it probably an 80. I'd say 84 out of 100. And 84 could be low. No finish. So let's see what it is. I don't have a bottle guess at all. I mean, if I bottle guessed it, Willet green top pick, you know? Oh, wow. Kentucky Owl Rye Batch 2. All right, I don't think I've had Batch 2 before. Kentucky Owl Rye Batch 2, 11 years old. What did I say? I think I said 12 years old, 111 proof. It's only 101.8 proof. Bottled in March of 2018. So I've had Batch 1 and Batch 3 Kentucky Owl. I haven't had Batch 4. So I've never had Batch 2 or Batch 4. Pretty good, you know? But this was all Kentucky distillate in this rye. So I don't know if this is like Old Barton rye, or I don't know exactly where they were sourcing from back then. I dig it though. It's good stuff. What did I say? 84, I think is what I said. Yeah. It's not worth the, what was it, like $300 I feel like, or something? No, maybe 180 back then. I think it was 180 back then. The newer one was like 300. Yeah, okay. I can see that price point for this. It does have a little bit of that dustiness, like I talked about when I first smelled it. A little dusty quality to the whiskey kind of overall. Cheers, Tony. I'm out for the night. Wanted to jump in and congratulate you. Thank you. Tony, your glasses arrived today. They're in the dishwasher right now. Oh, man. I love those glasses. I'll use them for the next live stream or on a video coming up. Thanks, dude. Benjamin Pritchard's the only brand that's legally allowed to call something Tennessee whiskey without using Lincoln County, says Jesse. Okay. Huh. All right, I think we're almost caught up here. Lee Wilmoth, thank you, Lee. In for 4. Congrats on 5 years, thank you. Camera working so good, it's like Brandon is in the room with you. Dan H, thanks for the super chat, man. We might do some more blinds tonight, guys. I love doing blinds on live streams. Let me pour this back. I've got to remember to relabel that sample bottle before I forget what's in there. Thank you, Dan. Good Lord, man. Another $50 super chat in for 10. Thanks, dude. Cheers to you, Dan. I'm gonna go ahead and pour out now. these dusties. We're going to do a little dusty side by side. And I don't have very much of these. Well, I don't have very much of this one left, which is going to dictate how much I pour of the other one. Here we go. That's even. Tributes on the left. I'll go ahead and sticker each of these real quick. And the reason I'm doing this blind is because every time I've done this blind, I said tributes on the left, right? All right. Tributes on the left. And M for MDS is on the right. And we'll put in a dummy glass, so when I mix them up, I don't know which one's which. So the reason I'm doing this blind between Tribute and the MDS 14 is because every time I've done the blind, I've been completely hammered with Kenny. And I did it one time here by myself at my house with these same samples, and I was also not in great shape on a Discord video chat. So we're gonna do it tonight, earlier on in the stream, to decide which one is better, the Tribute or the MDS 14. And I feel like Rarebird likes the MDS a little bit better. I've always had the Tribute come out on top, but let's see if that's consistent. So these are mixed up. The dummy glass is out of the way, so we can get into this now. Calvin, thank you, man. Cheers on 5 years. Calvin B for 5. Also, would you use one of those whiskey blinding spinner things? I would totally use that, yeah. I need to get one of those. You should be using the glasses Tony sent, says Brandon. I know. There's 2 of them in there. I couldn't use them to blind with because I wouldn't know which one I poured. But I have them in the dishwasher right now. So yeah, everything in the dishwasher is dirty. They ended up in the sink today, and so I didn't get around to finishing everything up. Seminole, thank you for the super chat. Congrats on 5. Just joined, excited to be here. Appreciate it. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna start on your left. Oh, okay, hang on. Let me coat the glass. I promise I'm not looking at the bottom. Promise I'm not looking. Just wanna make sure I coat it. All right, let's start here on your left. And everybody in the giveaway tonight, anybody that wins, all 5 winners are gonna get a sample of the Tribute. So let's hope the Tribute wins, because I don't have any of the master distillers besides this sample. Wow. All right, so glass 1. What else can you say? It's like plum and butterscotch. Fig jam and plums. It's so dark fruit forward, and also so much of that like kind of funky turkey butterscotch. All right, glass 2. Ooh, glass 2 feels lighter. Glass 2 is lighter on the nose. It's almost hard to smell it after glass 1. So it's a little more ethanol forward too. Wow, 1 is just, you go back to it and it just smells like old books, you know? Wow. There's an antique mall just down the road from my house. It smells like that. Oh my goodness. A little nutty kind of too in there. It's like fatty, like cashew nuttiness. All right, back to glass 2. Yeah. Glass 2 definitely is my second place on the nose. Let's taste these now in the same order. Oh man. Glass 1 is just liquid melted. It's just like melted butterscotch. It just drips down the side of your, tongue, and just wow. Wow. That's amazing. Paul Graham, what is up, dude? Paul Graham was there for all parts, the earliest stuff. And Paul, I still have a bunch of the stuff you sent me in that first box on the shelves behind me, man. So that was probably 4 years ago. You sent that killer care package my way. So, cheers, dude. Austin's drinking Crooked Letter Rye. Seriously, underrated pick, I think. Maybe appropriately rated. Jake, let's see. Yeah, we got that. Okay. And for 4, says, happy 5 years, Cam. You tried the new Woodford Rye barrel strength yet? No, it gets here tomorrow. So I'm going to try to get that review out. Try to get it shot and edited this weekend. If I can get it out Monday or Tuesday, I think that would be good. Oh, Paul, what's up? Back with a super chat here. Wow, thank you, Paul. In for 20. All right, so I'm going to take a sip of glass too. Cheers to Paul for that. Glass 2 is good. It's more like rye forward, less butterscotch, more spice basically. And you know what it smells and tastes like? It has the same kind of note that Russell's 15 has in it. I call it like old, like I remember in high school getting into my friend, he bought this total beater of an old muscle car. And when you opened it, I mean, this thing had never been touched, probably never been clean, you know what I mean? It was gnarly. There was a smell that car had, and that's what Russell's 15 has for me, and that's the same thing that this Glass 2 has for me. It's the exact same note. Paul, thank you for that super chat, man. All right, let's get Terry Powers in here. I'm going to see Terry next week at Backbone. I think this is an easy winner. I think Glass 1 is the winner. 5 years is great, man. Fingers crossed for some Dusty Turkey. All right, man. Fingers crossed, Terry. Appreciate the super chat. We got Noah. In for 3, says doing my own blind with Team Miz tonight. Team Miz? What's that? You mean you're not talking about the Team Michigan pick, or are you talking about that? Are you talking about Mizunara? 5-way blind for 5 years. Congrats. Thanks, man. Okay. I'm going to taste Glass 1 more time here. Oh, yeah. This is the winner. What is this? Oh, yeah. It's the Tribute. The Tribute, to me, totally kills this MDS 14. And MDS 14 is not a bad whiskey. The Tribute just drags it around. Wow. Yeah. It's crazy how good the Tribute is. It's crazy. It's not a great value, because to get one of these on secondary, it's around $2,000 or even a little bit more these days. But it is a great bottle. As far as value goes, value Dusties, look at Old Makers. That stuff is awesome. And then a little higher price, the old Granddad stuff, especially the 114s from the late 80s. That stuff's killer too. Wow. Dustin. Got you in here. Dustin Klosterhoff says cheers. Thank you, Dustin. Slad, speaking of old books, Cam, have you ever had Compass Box Velicor? No, I haven't. I'm not, as far as Compass Box elevated releases, beyond the typical stuff, I've only had a couple things here and there. There was one that my buddy Frank gave me. I can't remember the name of it. I wish I did. I think it was a Compass Box that he gave me. He let me take a sample home, and it was awesome. No clue what it was, though. Seminole says, first live interaction for a whiskey group. Wow. Welcome. Hope it's a whiskey live stream. I mean, it is what it is. It's just drinking whiskey and hanging out and me talking too much. So thanks for being here. I've seen your pics and they look fire. Just joined your Patreon. Awesome. Appreciate it. And thank you for the $50 super chat. Holy crap. What a way to jump in. Appreciate that. Cheers. Guys, I cannot keep up. Holy shit. All right, let's put the Tribute to the side. I gotta start getting into these Venmos. Holy crap. It's gonna take me all night. You guys are amazing. Holy crap. Wow. Okay, Sarah texted me. She's all good. That's good to see. Maybe I'll just do PayPal real quick to try to catch up with something at the very least. While I do that, what I'm going to taste next is going to be Oh, this was a dirty glass. Okay. What I'm going to taste next is going to be something else in tonight's sample giveaway, which is the 16-year Penelope Rye. So let's dive into this. Chris, thank you for the super chat. Says hit the like button. Yeah, guys, please hit that like button. Let's get a few more people hanging out tonight. I know tonight's live stream's all over the place, but you know, what are you going to do? I didn't have a bunch of like new bottles to take a look at tonight. It was just a bunch of random stuff and possible blinds. I'm like, you know, let's just do it. And then I looked at the calendar and I'm like, oh my God, the channel just turned 5. And I didn't even realize it 4 days ago. So it's like, let's just hang out and drink good stuff. Mike's drinking some Knob Creek 21. It's so good. It's so good. That's a whiskey I would just pour at the beginning of the night and then continue pouring through the entire night. You don't need to go up or down in proof. You could just drink that oaky syrup all night and be cool. David, thank you for the super chat here. Got you in for 1 entry. Congrats on the 5th anniversary. Okay. So I'm in PayPal now. Let me grab some of these. Are there any? Oh, there are. Yes, there are some. For sure. All right. Sam Thorner. Dude, thank you. Sam sent a $200 super chat, guys. He's in for 40 entries. Holy crap. Sam, I appreciate you, man. Says, congrats on 5 years. You built a really good channel. And I'm finally making content. There's finally a channel. You should feel proud, happy to support the channel and what you're doing. Thank you. It was great to hang a couple months ago, man. So fun. Even though I was being, you know, kind of a pain in the ass. Oh man. All right. Cheers to that. Jason Zell with a $150 super chat. Thank you, Jason. He's in for 30 entries. Says, cheers, brother. Cheers right back at you. Thank you, Jason. You guys are amazing. And Matt Cochran. Matt, I got a package coming your way, man. I promise. Everybody else, I promise. All this stuff is getting packed up basically starting tomorrow over the weekend, and I'm going to be getting it all out early next week. It's a lot of crap. Matt in for 4 says, here's to 5 years. Cheers, man. Thank you, Matt. And another thank you to Sam and Jason Zell. So guys, listen. This is a 95.5 rye from Penelope. It's MGP, it's 16 years old, and it's 112.9 proof, which is 56.45%. Looks like it was on the 6th floor. I mean, that's pretty high up. So this was released at KBF. It is a single barrel, and I think there were like 80 bottles and change of this that came out of the barrel. That's actually for a 16-year rye. I'd say that's a pretty typical yield. I don't think it's not a particularly short barrel at that age. When you think 16 years old, you start looking at like some of the Buff Turkey stuff that came out. When you saw 70, 80, 90 bottle yields, those weren't really short barrels. I mean, if you have 15, 16-year product, it kind of should be that short. 12-year stuff, like these 12-year ryes at the high proofs, when those came out, some of those yields were 120, 130, you know, so everything kind of tracks. So I've heard that they're going to start doing single barrels of this stuff, of this Penelope, like higher aged rye. I've heard 12 years. I've heard some people looking at 15-year samples. I don't know exactly what's true, but they can kind of do whatever they want just by printing, you know, different labels here. Because I think this is essentially the same label as the 10-year bourbon. Like everything is the same except the word rye, bourbon, and like the age statement and the specificity on the side of the mash bill, essentially. So they have a lot of options here, but they didn't really advertise these ryes as being part of the estate collection. I don't know what the price of this was at KBF. I paid $500 for this on secondary. So just keep that in mind. Like it's probably because it was a super limited thing. Nobody knew if there were more of these coming out. So when they put 500 up, they moved pretty quickly. And I was like, screw it. I'll try to get one of these. because I wanted to be able to take a look at the entire estate collection. Then I found out they're going to probably do some picks of this stuff, and I was like, I didn't need to spend that money, you know? But it is what it is. So 16-year rye, you don't see that every day. 112.9 proof. Joe with an interesting question here. Cam, how do you feel you do in a proof normalized blind of stuff? Like take a bunch of big boy bottles, proof them all down to the exact same. Joe, what would be the goal of that? Would it be to still guess what the original bottle was, or just to pinpoint like the stats? And I know if the proof is the same, then you'd be just trying to pinpoint like distillery age, finished, unfinished, type of whiskey. If the goal was that, I think I'd do okay with it. If the goal was to try to guess the original bottle, that would be probably crazy hard. Because I think the water, it's like, man, what does what does Stagg 25A taste like at 90 proof? Does it taste like Eagle Rare? You know, I'm not sure. Mike, thank you for the super chat. Oh, Pink Dan, I completely forgot about this. Thank you for texting me. I took a picture of the bottle for inside of the cards. Okay. Would people be able to... Dan, if you're watching this right now, anybody else is like, what is he talking about? Would people be able to, if I hold the cards up, would they be able to see it? Or like, would it work in the same way that a blind could work? Because if so, I can do that blind tonight. Unless you want to save it for Patreon. All right, we got Mike Conklin in here with the super chat. In for 4. Thank you, Mike. Congrats on 5 years. I'm going with Full Throttle. I love Full Throttle, man. Cheers. Buckner's 13 Team Michigan is what Noah's drinking. Awesome. And John OX in for 10 entries says, congrats on 5 years. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm going to take another sip of this rye for that $50 super chat. Thank you so much, man. Landon. Okay. I have so many thoughts about this freaking rye whiskey. Did you try the Penelope single barrel or 13-year already this stream? No, I'm saving those for other times. Just this rye. The 13-year I've tasted on a previous live stream, and I will have a review of that coming for sure. I'm going to do the whole estate collection in one review. But I can only film that one video. And that's the only video I can film that day. Because if I'm going to go through 6 bottles in one video, I'm going to have to pace myself. That's a lot. All right, Dan texting me back here. No, Dan, we'll see if we get to it tonight. Because part of me wants to do it and part of me wants to save it. So we'll see how I'm feeling at the end of the stream. Or close to the end of the stream. We'll get there. All right, that's exciting. Kenneth, thank you for the super chat, man. Kenneth C in for 1. Congrats. Cheers to 5 years. Appreciate it, man. And Austin says, stop talking about how good the old makers are. No, they're bad. They're terrible. Don't buy them. Hey, Marshall, I enjoyed that pick, man. I enjoyed that old Dom. And Jeremy's tried this. Okay, Jeremy's tried the 16-year rye. All right. So let's talk about this now. This rye suffers in one way from what I feel like is ailing so much MGP whiskey that's on the market right now. And remember that Penelope, we don't know the inner workings of Penelope, but they were acquired by MGP. So presumably they have access to a wide range of things. Whether or not we can say they have access to all of MGP's stocks, that would be hard to claim that. But it's probably fair to say that they have way more access than they ever did pre-buyout because, you know, back then it was just whatever barrels they had on site. So in my mind, if you're going to put out like a crazy ass barrel at KBF, for instance, like this is, and I guess, you know, if they're going to do more picks of it down the road, then maybe there's less pressure. But at the time, this is the only Penelope rye that's out there like this. You gotta pick a banger. That's my like theory of this. This suffers, excuse me, from the same thing that some of the other estate collections that I have right over here are suffering from. What NDP 10-year MGP is suffering from right now in the barrel market. I've got samples over there. I won't name who they're from. But there's so much of this yeasty note in MGP. It tastes like straight up yeast, like unbaked bread, you know? And I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with this. And at first I thought it was all just young MGP. Over the last few years, I associated that with like 5, 6, 7-year MGP. Well, now those same barrels have turned 10 years old and they still taste like this. And this is a 16-year rye that has a bunch of yeast on the nose. And it's really odd. But I'm going to try to look past it for this. I'm going to just call that like a distillery characteristic. We're going to start calling it a distillery characteristic because for some reason so much MGP is starting to taste and smell like this. So let's look past it for now. If I look past it, this smells like blueberry, jelly or jam. You know, it's so just, I love berry notes in whiskey, and it's got that, and it's a rye. So that is a crazy kind of profile for a rye to have. It's like mostly blueberry and like kind of like some blackberry in there too. So much dark fruit. The thing is, it's not actually super oaky. It's not real earthy and oaky like a lot of the higher proof 12-year ryes were, and especially like the grassy earthiness that you get on the low proof 13-year MGP ryes that were on the barrel market. This doesn't have any of that from either of those two lots of barrels. It's very much its own thing. Now, if you want to be charitable on the nose about the yeast note that I'm getting, you could just try to call it vanilla. I sometimes refer to their yeast note as like grainy vanilla because that's kind of how it comes off. That's the generous interpretation. My negative interpretation is just I get yeast, and it drives me crazy. All right, on the palate. So it's not a high proof. It's 112.9, but there's a nice heaviness to it, which I like. And on the palate, I don't think I would ever know that this is a rye. It really drinks like a high rye bourbon at best. Does not drink like a 95.5. It's a really cool barrel. And there actually is, in the finish of this, a little bit of that tobacco funk that you can get on some off-profile barrels. There's just a hint of that on here. But it's not a hallmark. As I go back to the nose, I'm starting to get a little bit of a lemon starburst. But it's like faint. It's an accent. It's like, I feel like lemon and blueberry, those flavors play nicely together, and that's kind of what I'm getting here. It's like a strong blueberry jammy base with a little bit of this like lemon starburst accent on top. There's the tobacco funk in the finish, but it drives me nuts that there's all this yeast in here. So I'm like so torn on this rye. I want to love this rye so bad, but it doesn't taste like, it tastes like an MGP bourbon from nowadays because of that yeast. Well, I just got a text that is interesting about that. All right. Adam, here's the sponsorship. Sponsored, this stream brought to you by Adam Edlin. And for 20 entries, I can't believe Adam's going to win a bongo wood. Hashtag scam. Thank you, Adam. Yeah, this is a Penelope Rye, Eric. This is like a one-off release. There are going to be more of them in the future, I think, but one-off at KBF. 160. If it was only 160, that's awesome. I'm going to keep scrolling. What's up, Jamie? Says, wow, 500 secondaries a lot. Yeah, it was too much. Too much for this. For me, just not liking that yeast profile, the SRP is like really up to 200 maybe is what I would pay for this based on that. If you remove that yeast note and left everything else in this, I'm not saying it's worth 500, but it would definitely be worth a little bit more in my mind. Just kind of overall value. Rick Miller, thank you for the super chat. Got you in for 4. Says congrats on your first 5 years. Thank you, Rick. Hopefully there's a second 5 years. Hopefully. Gonna be a long spreadsheet, says Austin. Yeah, no, Austin, it's insane. I haven't even gotten into the Venmos, dude. I don't even know I don't know what's happening. Grow up, Frankie. What'd Frankie say? Ban? What people don't know is that Adam gets bonus entries. Yeah, right. Kooky Cat says, congrats, Cam. Hope to score William Heavenhill next week. I hope you do too. I might, if I hear about, if there's like a guaranteed release or something, and I have to go down and camp out, I've never camped out for a bottle. I would camp out for this William Heavenhill. We're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. Marshall says Old Dom was $65. It's so good. For a $65 bottle, it's a crazy good value. Dark Brew 7. Not 8. Dark Brew 7. And for one says congrats on 5 years. Thank you. Jeremy, yeah, I agree, man. 16-year rye drinks like a bourbon. 100%. Boyd, thank you. Been here since the first year. You're top shelf. Cheers to that, Boyd. Thank you so much. Okay. What do you guys think? You want to do Stag next, or you want to do another blind? Stag next or blind? Got 175 people in here. Hit that like button, please. We're hanging out. It's going to be a long stream. We will, I promise, get to the William Heavenhill. I promise we'll get to everything. But once I start going up in proof, the blinds get a little more difficult. Stag. We got blind. We got Stag blind. Guys, you let me know what you want to see. Okay, we're going to go Stag. Overwhelming. Let's go Stag. We're gonna do a blind straight up on the Stag. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to show you guys which one's which. I didn't think about that. I guess I could. I could write cards real quick and mix it up with the glasses. You know what? Let's do that because I'd rather you guys know which one is which. I haven't tasted these Stags in quite a while, so I don't think I'm gonna have any idea which one is which. So we can mix cards up with it. Am I caught up in here? Gosh, all right. I gotta remember that I'm next up is Angie F, and I've got Venmo open now. Let me grab these black note cards. All right. So the three Stags that I'm going to be putting side by side. Let's see which one this one is. I've got 4. Should we do 4? Why not? It's going to be a long night. It's going to be a long night. Let me get that other note card. I had a 4th note card too. All right. You didn't even need to peer pressure me. I just peer pressured myself. Here's what we're going to do. We've got 24C. I need to write these bigger. I need to write these bigger. So you guys can read them. All right. So we've got 24C. There we go. That's good. We've got 25A. That's the star of the show. That's the one everybody's curious about. We've got, here it is, 24A, which ended up being my favorite of last year. My marker's kind of dying. And my favorite, if this wins, consistency, 22A. Can you guys see this? Yeah, you can see that. Okay. So I'm going to pour these out. And then what's going to happen is as I mix these up, I have to mix them up with the cards underneath them. So it's very pedantic and totally annoying. But we're all going to get through this together. We're going to make it through this. And I'm going to clear some glassware too because I've just got... We'll just put it on the floor. I've run out of space in this room. This is why we have to move next month. I need more table space. The entire basement is going to be percussion gear and whiskey setup, and it's going to be awesome. And hopefully on a live stream, I'm going to be able to have every single bottle of whiskey that I own along maybe not in the camera, maybe not in view, but in the same room. I'll have every single thing and a bunch of table space, which would be great. Okay. So let's get 4 clean glasses now. And we'll do no logos on the glasses for consistency. Okay, we got it. 4 no logo glasses. And now we're going to do 4 even pours of these. I'm going to scroll down. I'll scroll back up on the chat. Bring back the couch. No, Travis, we're not bringing back the couch. Your basement will be drums and drams. Exactly. What I hope is that either in the live shot or maybe in the... Because I'm going to try to have 2 separate setups. A live setup and a non-live setup. I'm not sure if that's actually going to work out that way. But my goal is to have a super long shot so that you can see all the percussion gear behind me. You know, even if it's all blurred out or whatever, that within most things that happen on the channel, people can see that I'm also a drummer and percussionist in the background, as opposed to just being part of the, you know, the channel's name. And I'll make sure there's a lot of xylophones in the background, because that's apparently all I play is the xylophone, according to some people. All right, 24C. I'm gonna pour this. I gotta make sure I have enough in each glass. What do we got? 24A, which is here. Okay. This is gonna be 22A. I'm telling you, 22A is gonna win this flight. It is absolutely gonna win this flight. It's about even. Yep. And last but not least, 25A. Okay. All right, Sarah is texting. Okay, we're all good. Great, so I'm gonna turn these over. I mean, she could honestly, she said she's in the driveway on the phone with her mom. She could honestly come in here and mix these up for us, but that's okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. So, let's see what you guys are saying here. By reading the chat, I will distract myself and not remember which one of these is which. Maybe this Black Friday I'll get one. Let's see what you guys are talking about. This means you'll have to keep your gear organized, says Dan. I know. Well, honestly, dude, if it's in the background enough, you know, if it's in the background enough, maybe it'll be okay. All right, I'll move this one here, and we'll flip these around. I think we're probably good. I think we're nice and mixed up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to label these 1, 2, 3, 4. Glass 1, glass 2, glass 3 from your left to right, and glass 4. So there we go. When I pull the card up, it should be facing you. It should be like straight up and down. It shouldn't be upside down, assuming I didn't mix any of these up incorrectly. So let me now, and there's nothing on the bottom of these obviously, so I'm not going to be cheating as I do this. I'm just coating the glasses. So again, we have Stagg 22A, 24A, 24C, and 25A. 25A being the new batch. I'll run these proofs down real quick. 25A, 126.5. 24C, 128.9, so higher. 24A, 127.6, just in the middle. And 22A is 132.2. It's the highest proof. It better win. It's my favorite. It better win. Brett, what's up, man? Thank you for the super chat. I'm going to go back and grab a few of the ones I missed above, but I appreciate it, man. Have a great night celebrating 5 years. Cheers, Brett. Thank you, man. Okay. Excuse me. Good Lord. I don't know what the heck that was. Angie F. got you in here for 4 entries. Big congrats. Thank you, Angie. We're going to get to Mike Hogan in a second, but let's go to glass 1. Please, guys, no spoilers in the chat. When I show you these cards, don't start talking about which one is which. Please, please. If you do, a mod is going to time you out or boot you or whatever they can do. Delete your comment. If they do delete your comment, I can still see it because I'm in a third-party app right now. So if they delete it on YouTube, I still see it. Please don't spoil this for us. All right, so here's glass one. Let me know. Please give me like a thumbs up in the chat that you can see this. I'm going to turn my head. Smells like Stag. The first one of these, I'm not going to like accurately be able to talk about. So that's glass one. This is just me acclimating to having Stag, all right? Okay. Let me just quickly show you 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. So here's 2. You guys just saw 1. Here's 2. Whew, 2 is crawling up my nose. All right. That's 2. Can see it. Thank you. Thank you, Sam. And then glass 3. Okay, glass 3 is kind of darker and more like smoky barrel char. This is a good way for me to get like first impressions on the nose. All right, and then we're gonna show you glass 4, so you kind of know what's what as we get into this. All right, glass 4 might be just like, loosely speaking, first impression on the nose. Glass 4 might be my favorite, only because it feels like it's got more of the balance of all these. Like, one was really hot, one was kind of smokier, one was super sweet, and almost like glass 1 felt kind of young. Glass 4 had a little bit of all of these things kind of put together. Yeah, glass 1's nose is, I don't know about that. Mike Hogan, appreciate the super chat, man. And for 10, sheesh, thanks. Congrats on 5 years. First 3 were underage drinking. I love it. I'm 31, Mike, damn it. Hoping to be the new Adam. All right, fingers crossed for you, man. Okay. Congrats on the 5 years, says Nathan. Thank you, Nathan. Got you in for 2, man. I didn't put an N on your... Here, I'll put it in there. I don't want to misspell people's names. Thank you, Nathan. Josh Fritz, good to see you, dude. Great to see you in the chat tonight. Thank you. All right. All right, so glass 1, just a reminder. This is glass 1. This smells kind of like funfetti. It's like funfetti and kind of aspartame-y, kind of young, honestly, on glass 1. You know what it smells like? It kind of smells like ancient age. Like, it has that really kind of cardboardy honey note on the nose. I'm not a big fan of this. I think, here's the deal for glass 1. There's going to be a huge audience for whichever batch this is, because it's very sweet. And it's like, if the note doesn't bother you and you just like the fact that it's super sweet, then you're gonna love this. For me, this has that note that ancient age has, which again reminds me of like a combination of cardboard and really young honey flavor or something. Yeah. However, the palate, it's a little different on the palate. The palate is much better than the nose. It's got a great spice to it. Kind of like a cherry brandy thing going on here. But still extremely honey forward. Like that, this reminds me, I know that this is Mash Bill 1. I know that standard Buffalo Trace is Mash Bill 1. This tastes like barrel proof Buffalo Trace. If you just took that Buffalo Trace honey profile, jacked it way up to barrel proof, glass 1 tastes like that. Let's go to glass 2. Reminder of what's in glass 2. This is the one that's stinging the nostrils. Yeah, it's the Anchorman glass. But it's dark. I mean, it's really dark. This is getting into that grape territory. Kind of like the blackberry thing that you can get on some of these. Oh, yeah. Even though the nose is very hot, the palate just does things. It's a great batch. That is easily better than glass 1. Ooh, and it lingers, man. That's a long finish. Cam, how solid is that Nagri 21? It's good. Yeah, it's really good, man. Really good. Jason, this stream needs more rotating hat sponsorship, dude. I even freaking put gel in my hair for the product, whatever it's called. It's not freaking 2003, you know, the spiky front that we all did. Maybe it was just me. I even did my hair for tonight's stream instead of wearing a hat. I was like, you know what, we're celebrating. I'm gonna take a shower. Put some product in my hair. Thank you, Jason K. No rotating hat sponsorships tonight unless Adam super chats an inordinate amount of money. What do you say, Adam? If I had a 3D printer, Calvin says, I'd print Cam a Stolzle blind spinner. Yeah, that would be cool. You know what I really want them to make? I really would love, you know how they have Wii Glens? I would love like a mini version of a Stolzle so that we could actually make tiny Drams glasses out of these. Just a thought. If anybody knows somebody. I'm like way far behind in the chat, sorry. All right, I'm gonna hit a comment here in a second, but let me just taste I didn't see this comment at first. I'm gonna hit it because it's worth talking about. It's worth being open. But before I do that, I want to taste glass 3 and 4 first because I gotta get a little more liquid whatever going on here. So let me show you guys what glass 3 is. Just a quick reminder. Okay. You know what I want to do? I want to compare glass 3 really quickly to glass 1 on the nose. Yeah, glass 1, I'm telling you, it's like that fake sweetener aspartame kind of thing on here with that Buffalo Trace honey sweetness that I talked about. Okay. I like 3 better. Yeah. It has a similar thing to it. But there's more fruit on here. Just generally more fruit sweetness. Okay. Ooh. The palate, though, is kind of flat. It doesn't go anywhere. The flavor actually is pretty broad and lingers pretty well on glass 3. But the spice never takes off. Go back to glass 1. I would hate to put glass 1 over glass 3 just based on the way it drinks, but I might have to. Yeah, I might have to. 3 is like dead in the water. Dang, that sucks. That sucks. Because I like the profile of 3 so much better. Spiky front and frosted tips. There we go. It's early 2000s, man. You have a 25 GTS lined up yet? No way. No way. I wish I did. You know, what I wish I had ever was any kind of hookup on BTAC. You know, it's like in Ohio that will never happen, right? Because we're a control state. So it's all lottery and stuff like that. But whenever I hear somebody talk about, oh man, my buddy owns a store and he gives me BTAC for MSRP, I'm always like, man, that would be sick. Now, count your blessings, of course. The channel brings in money. It pays for secondary purchases like that. But it never feels good, obviously, to drop $800 or something on a Stag just to try to get it and stuff. But I always do think about, like, man, if I wasn't in Ohio, it would be so cool. 1 bottle a year. WLW. Thomas H. Handy, you know, anything at SRP would be so cool. Russell's 15. Like, so the 25 GTS definitely don't have that lined up. What's up, Colin? Good to see you, man. All right. Let's go to glass 4. Man, all right, I got to do a quick. Here, let me remind you quickly. Glass 4. Excuse me. Gosh, I'm burping, guys. I got the bourbon / taco belches. Okay. Glass 4. Lots of strawberry candy on glass 4. Yeah, didn't get that on 3. 1 is, again, that kind of grainy honey thing. 4 might be my second favorite from a profile perspective. And actually, 2 was really hot on the nose, even though it drank amazingly. The nose on 4, I think, is probably the best nose of all of them. I think I said that the first time through, too. Great. Great. Easy toss-up right now between 4 and 2 for first place, which means let's pick our third and fourth place first. Third and fourth place is going to be between glasses 1 and 3, and this will be a hard decision, I think. Oh, what did Tom say? How did Stag Batch 12 get in there? Get out of here, Tom. We're caught up. We got Jason. We got Brett. Okay, we got a couple more here. James, thanks, man. In for 4. Good luck, everyone, except Adam. That's the spirit. That's the spirit. Jason P. in for some more action here. In for 4. Thank you, Jason. And Greg McDonald is in for 2. Gotcha, Greg. If you want to mess with Cam's head, tell him all 4 are Booker's Lumberyard. No, don't tell me that, please. I almost bought a Booker's today at the store, though. It was like the second batch of the year, and I'm like, I don't need to review this. I'm not going to get back into the Booker's game. I'm just going to get samples from people. Dan, thank you. In for 10 more, man. Catching up with Adam to even the odds. Adam, don't forget about hashtag #MGold if you win. Sharing is caring. Unreal Black. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but thank you, Dan. All right, so let's pick our third and fourth place. Glass 1 again. Quick reminder. Okay, on the palate. Gosh, I don't want to put that in third. It's so sweet, but it's that off note in there. All right, glass 3. Let's let this kind of die out fully. Okay. I have to put 3 over it. Even though the palate's not as good, I have to put 3 over it. I think I have my order now. I'll do one more tasting of the other 2. Damn, that's a toss-up, though. I'll taste them. I'll taste them. Oh, Maker's Gold. Sorry, guys. I can't keep up right now. I think I found all the... Adam, I think I found all my Maker's Golds today, by the way. Just by the way. If Adam wins, we all leave and join the collection. No. No. Speaking of the collection, where's it at? This freaking dog water showed up today, Adam. All right, I gotta taste this. I gotta taste this seriously. 1 second. It's tough. That's got to go in first. But 4 is so good. The second place is so good. And it's probably across the board because the nose is more accessible on glass 4. Glass 2, the nose kind of, the ethanol crawls up your nose and it's not as rewarding to smell it, but it drinks so good. I have to put that in first. But 4 is more balanced all the way through. It's great. 3 has to go in third because I just can't stand 1. That's it. No. So last place tonight is... Okay. Well, there's your... Yep. I feel so strongly about this, and now you guys know. You don't even have to watch the review video that's going to come out. So, there you go. Okay. The new 25A. Third place, Glass 3. If I had to guess, I'd say this is 24C. Wow, 24A. What the heck? Really? Palate was dead in the water, though. Okay, then I think 24C is probably in second place. What? Oh my God, what is happening? No. What? I did say, listen, I'm gonna backtrack. I did say 22A was probably the most complete. But why did 24C, why did 24C drink so good? What the crap? Okay. One sec. Okay. You good? Okay. All right. Okay. Dude, what the heck? All right, let me like recalibrate here and figure this out. I totally 100% believe 25A is last place. 24A in third. That's shocking to me. But 24C did beat 24A last year for me one time. And now that I know what it is, 24C is drinking flat. But when I was blind, it drank really proofy. Oh, I'm so confused. I bet if I did this again, I bet it would be a toss-up. Oh, that's a chipped glass. I'm going to throw that out. I bet if I did this again, it would be a toss-up between 24C and 22A again. But I do think that the bottom two would consistently be in their places in this. Dude, this is crazy. All right, let me taste 22A, which I can't believe this came in second. No, come on, this should have been in first. Come on. This should have... Okay, the main takeaway of this flight, screw all of you in the chat, the main takeaway of this flight is that 25A is not that good. But I did say at the beginning, if you like sweet, whatever this one is, you're gonna like it. If you can't stand this note in here, which I can't stand, which is like the ancient aged note of cardboard honey, if you don't like that note, you're not gonna like this. I stand by that. I think there will be an audience for 25A. I am not the audience. There is no dark fruit in this whatsoever. Not even a hint. There's cherry brandy, I think is what I said on the palate. It's not on the nose. That's a big no for me. I'm gonna do this again. Probably not on camera. You know what? Should I redo this flight in a video? Maybe I should just redo it in a video and see if what happens in the video. It's not like I know. It's not like I knew which one was which, anyways. I think I'd probably pick out 25A in the video, but the other three, I don't think I would pick out. I'll probably just redo this in a video because I'm pissed. I'm pissed 22A lost. I gotta right my wrongs. Unsubscribe. Cam's washed. Cam's palate's broken. Oh, man. Ruthless, guys. Ruthless. Okay, let me grab a few super chats, and then we gotta dive in real quick. Sam in for 4 says, happy 5 years, cheers, and good luck to everyone except Adam. Thank you, Sam. Thanks, bro. And I agree with your sentiments about Adam. Mike in Nova, thank you, Mike, says, rooting Forrester Sam's Giants to crush the Eaglets. All you guys in your sports. I just watch sweaty men roll around and punch each other in the face. Josh, thank you, man, in for 4. Josh Streeter, I'm going to put your last name in there just in case there's another Josh that pops up. Okay. Thank you, man. Adam, why am I getting this hate? Oh, I don't know, Adam. I have no idea. Why would you be getting this hate? 25A is so good, says Eric. I disagree. Sorry. But again, I'm not going to begrudge anybody if they like 25A because I could see why they would. Yep, Sam got to rig it for the video. You know how we do. Austin says, redo it in a video so you guess 22A first. Allegations never getting beat. Exactly. Although the allegations are kind of getting beat, dude, because all my What's That whiskeys have been dog shit recently. I've been guessing so badly. Justin O. I got to specify, there's another Justin O tonight, actually. In for 2. 24C won our blind last year and did well on my buddy and I's Bourbon of the Year blind. It won my first one last year, so I guess I can't be too upset. Oh my God, 3:30 a.m. to get 25A? Holy crap, Eric. Justin, thank you for the congrats, man. Okay, guys, let me move these off. I mean, moral of the story, listen. 25A. After I shoot my review, does anybody want my bottle? Because that's, like, it is just not my flavor profile at all. Let me get these out of here. There is more whiskey to drink tonight. All right. All right, so we don't need the Stags. Where are we at now? As far as the thumbnail goes, honestly, I think we are probably in William Heavenhill territory. Is there anything else? Let me check. I wrote a note for myself. I still have 0 Venmo Super Chats that I've logged. I don't know. What are we doing? There are only so many Super Chats I can log. I feel like I need help. No, I think William Heavenhill is the next thing to taste. I really do. I mean, it's a great place to go. So let's grab a glass. Let me get a little water in my system, guys. All right. Thank you, Frankie. Says hydrate. Drake, how can we get William Heavenhill? I think these are basically just distillery-only drops. I feel like they do events sometimes where, I don't know if they advertise as part of the event that you get the opportunity to buy this, but I mean, I feel like maybe they have done that where they've advertised it, and maybe there have been other things where if you do some event, it just ends up being a thing that you can do, that you can purchase one. Otherwise, it feels to me like there are certain days that they just decide to release them in the mornings. And there are people like in town that know people at the distillery. They find out about it. They text their friends and people kind of know when it's coming, like around the area. But I don't think these get any real distribution as far as I know. Maybe a little bit. But folks in the chat will know more than I know about this. Bourbon Retriever, thank you. Oh man, that's cool. 55 super chat. That's cool. Thank you. Let me get it in here. 11 entries. 11.11 entries. Cheers to 5 years of drums and drams. Here's to many more sips and epic videos. Thank you. Cheers to that. Justin. The other Justin O. We have 2 Justin O's tonight. That's crazy. In for one says, log another. There we go. And Jason K is in for 4. Anything you can drop about new River Roots batches? Yeah, probably nothing. I mean, honestly, I don't know very much about what's coming in at River Roots. I know a couple little things, but nothing I can share publicly. And yeah, I mean, we have a River Roots drop next week of some of the weeders that came in a few months back. And then after that, we don't have anything on the calendar, but I should be tasting some things up at River Roots here soon. Just kind of waiting on some barrel deliveries, it sounds like. But as usual, River Roots has great stuff coming in. It's not my business to share it, you know. So just keep an eye out, and that's kind of the best I can say. Cam, let's get to the truth. So let's see. Where was your original comment back here? It was something, right? Let's see. Cam, did you have someone asked here, I'm scrolling back, Cam, did you have frosted tips? I had highlights in my hair for sure when I was growing up. My mom did hair for a living. Like, she went to cosmetology school and stuff. And so, yeah, when I was a kid, she like highlighted my hair. And I don't know if that was her choice or my choice. If it was my choice, I would never admit it, but definitely, yeah, been there, done that. Yep. Okay. Yes.
Are there pictures of you?
Yeah, I probably have one or two. I don't think Sarah never knew that I highlighted my hair.
No. Send that to me.
She said send pics. I was scrolling back looking for the original comment about this, but I can't find it. Let me see what's going on here. What did Austin say? Man, I missed stuff earlier. Cam's blacking out tonight. Everybody enjoy the Discord hang afterwards. Let me know if Kenny makes an appearance. Oh, here we go. Okay. So guys, real quick, let's just clear the air here about this, because I'm kind of tired. I'm tired of the whole thing. It's so silly. What's up with Mash and Drum making some comments about you? Didn't know you guys had any issues. Okay, real quick. Here's the dealio. I don't like to talk about this. It's uncomfortable in some ways, you know. But here's the dealio. Back in the day when I first started the channel, you know, Jason and I, we were never tight, but we communicated, you know. Instagram DMs. I actually went to his house. He invited me to his house and we hung out. And I think there was an accumulation of me hearing things that there was animosity about the name of my channel, because it also has the word drum in it. But when I started Drums and Drams back in the day, this channel was actually going to be a Scotch channel. My first few videos were Scotch, as I was slowly getting into bourbon at the time. And I didn't even know who Mash and Drum was, and then I found out, and I was like, I had this moment of like, should I change my name? You know, maybe I should change my name. I didn't change my name because I just didn't think it was a big deal, you know? Drums and Drams, Mash and Drum, it's all good. And I'm a professional musician. Like, that's what I do for a living. You know, I'm in an orchestra. I play drums. I've toured all over the place. It's what I do. So drums and percussion and all that kind of stuff. And I like alliterations. So I had a whole thing I was going to do back during COVID called Project Percussion. And you know, PP, Project Percussion, Drums and Drams, DD, yada, yada. So anyways, I think I heard things about there being some animosity about the name of the channel and stuff like that. And I tried to clear the air a few different times in private, you know, and I thought that we had kind of handled that stuff. And then some, as you guys have seen, you know, maybe you haven't, some shots were taken during the whole laser code debacle a year and a half ago, and, you know, whatever. That whole thing was kind of silly. But after all of that, I still try. I hate to talk about it. It's uncomfortable, but enough shots have been taken publicly, I think, from the person that we are discussing about this, that it's just worth talking about. Again, it's been 2 or 3 times privately that I've tried to squash whatever beef this has been, that I copied, whatever. And that's where it all started. And then eventually it just kind of turned into just me being bad-mouthed at every turn, you know? And I've seen so many screenshots from people, from messages here and there, and public and private and this and that. And there was a private live stream where really nasty things were said about me that I was sent a video of. It was really unfortunate. And so at this point, because I've tried to squash all of this privately so many times, I feel like it's worth addressing it publicly now that I legitimately do not know what I ever did to this person. Jason, right? I mean, not going to beat around the bush, but I don't know what I did, and the amount of blowback that I've gotten and the things that have been said about me, the most horrible things and untrue things and lies that have been told, it's really unfortunate. And so I'm saying this on the 5-year channelversary because why? This has pretty much haunted the channel for 5 years. You know, it's been annoying as hell to deal with this. And so there you go. It's out in the open. There's never been any like actual anything that's happened. It's just been stuff that I've heard and then me bringing it up in private and trying to say like, if I did anything, I'm sorry. I would like to squash this beef. And then it always keeps coming back and rearing its ugly head. And it came back last week on a live stream and I heard some comments made about me and it was like, I don't understand this. So sorry, I'm uncomfortable talking about it. I don't mind having hard conversations. I'd rather have the conversation with that person. And I've tried 2 or 3 different times. And it always ends up the same way. Right back to where we started with things being said about me. So it is what it is. And this is probably the first time it's ever been addressed so openly here. Quips have been made on my end for sure. Guilty as charged. But I feel like at some point, I kind of earned a couple of those quips. Because I feel like I didn't earn any of the things that have been said about me in that case. There we go. We're going to move on now. Wait, what is going on? Check Discord. Oh no, what's going on in Discord? Oh no, you guys, you're scaring me. What's going on in Discord now? Okay. Guys, I don't give a crap. We can address it. It's all good. It's all good. I'll dive in. Well, I have nothing to hide. That's the problem. I've got no issues myself. So I'll dive into it because I feel like I've put my best foot forward several times now. All right. So let's keep going. Carter says, what was the first video? The first video on the channel, I did a Welcome to Drums and Drams video, which is, God, please don't watch that. And then I did, oh man, was it like a Glenmorangie video maybe? I think I might have done like a Glenmorangie 10-year review. And then I did a Glenmorangie Tale of Cake. I did like not unboxed, but like I fresh cracked a Johnny Walker 1982 Black Label, which was my first dusty Scotch experience. It like blew my mind. And then right around the time I did the Luxro 12 and I did like the Yellowstone 2020 limited. And then after that, I just went fully into bourbon, like American whiskey. And I also did my first live stream with a bunch of Scotch, I think. I think there was like a mixture of Scotch and bourbon in my first live stream. And then after that, I really veered away. Revisited Scotch a little bit over the next months, and then eventually just kind of faded away. I think anyone around our age cam, I'm 33, had blonde bangs. I love it. I love it. Frosted tips with a way, says Colin. You guys are funny. I'm probably really behind, right? Yeah, I'm like 8 minutes back. It's Patreon exclusive hair highlighting stream wit. Thank you, Slad. Let's do it. All right, Brandon S. Joining late, but want a chance for a sample of that bottle that doesn't exist. We're going to get some samples out of that. All right. Thank you, man. Spank Dan. I'll put this on the screen. Okay. Junior, thank you, man. I got to get to these Venmo Super Chats, guys, because we got to get into this absolutely insane William Heavenhill bottle. Junior, I misspelled your last name. I'm sorry. I'm not going to fix it. If you see it, I'm sorry. Here's to 5 more years of Cam letting us know what the dealio is. Even I don't know what the dealio is. Yeah, Toshi, I don't want to read this out, man, because I don't want to belabor the point. I already did belabor the point, because I don't have, But, all love to you, Toshi. Thank you, man. Is that why you're... No, Michael, I'm staying in Columbus. I'm just moving a little bit south of here. Mike, thanks for the super chat. I got you, bro. In for 2. Thanks, man. All right. Do you still drink scotch? Yeah, Kenna, I definitely still drink scotch. When is Whiskyware making a return? Probably never. I don't know. Jesse, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Renee, what scotch do you suggest to have? I only have the peated stuff. Really have to be in the mood for it. I always started with Glenmorangie. I thought it was easy drinking, you know? And then... so nowadays, I like Springbank. I like Glen Scotia. I like the stuff that has a little funk, a little peat, you know, kind of in between. Kilkerran sometimes is good. But if you want to go completely unpeated, try a Sherry Bomb. Try like a Glen Alecky. I don't know how Glendronach is these days, but try like a Glen Alecky and see what you think. And maybe, what else? Like an Edredor. I think an Edredor is a really cool scotch, but if it's still too dirty for you or too intense, maybe go for like a Glenmoe 10 and just see what you think. Love you, Matt. Thank you, bro. Good to see you. Matt Porter is the best of the best when it comes to Whiskey Tube. He's the best dude. All right, so let's get into this craziness now. Now that we've talked about the most uncomfortable thing to talk about, I hate it. I hate airing that stuff, but Pink Dan, you're funny. I hate talking about that stuff, but like, you know, at some point, everybody should have hard conversations with people. I think, you know, I think it's a good thing to have to deal with things head on. And if you try and it fails, then I don't know what you do at that point. I guess you just cut ties. Okay, let me pull this up here because this is going off the freaking chain right now. Yeah, Lito's got it right. There you go. Hazelburn Longrow Springbank. It's just the best, you know. It's so typical to say that, but it really is true. Tom Lonzo, next year's Matt Madness needs to be a head-to-head of the... I mean, listen, I'm game, you know. I'll do it. It's just whiskey. Let's do it. Oh, and Jesse's right. How do you say this, Jesse? Is it Glenglassaw? 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 No, you would... Glenglassaw probably is where you put the stress. I have that Sandin bottle that you let me try last year, and I love it. Guy, thank you, man. Congrats on 5 years. No Venmo. Oh, it's all good, dude. Thank you. Guy is the freaking man. But now I have to do math. 31 entries. I got you, Guy. Cheers, dude. All right, so on the nose, 138.2 proof. Look at the focus. Come on. I'm so happy with this upgrade. 138.2, 19-year Heavenhill. It smells like perfect whiskey, you know? It's just like the backbone of the whole thing. The backbone of the whole thing is crazy amounts of dark chocolate, tons and tons of oak, like Heavenhill Rickhouse, slightly sweet, but mostly like bittersweet oak, with some just faint hint of like funk, but not really any like crazy tobacco funk or anything. It's a generally clean profile on this. But it's like the dark chocolate, crazy Heavenhill oak, it's clove, and it's like cardamom and chai, and all of these kind of really allspice, like Middle Eastern aromatic spices that are jumping out of the glass. That's the foundation of the profile. And I'll tell you what, this is not my note, this is Sarah's note. What did she call it? Peaches? I think she said baked peaches. That was her, and she smelled it. She's like, I smell baked peaches. And I'm like, you're totally right. And I would have never smelled that. It's here. It's like there's this kind of lighter, sweeter thing. It's like baked peaches and whipped cream that sits on the top of this. But it's hard to notice it because you're so caught up in all of the dark chocolate and all the oak. I mean, it smells so good. My only complaint, and I have one, is that it's a little bit too much ethanol on the nose and a little bit too tight on the nose. It's like not all 138.2 proof whiskey needs to crawl up your nose. You can have stuff that does not feel its proof. Some old, Willet single barrels that you would try that are absolutely insane and people are charging $5,000 to $10,000 a piece, which is of course in a different category than this, which is hard to imagine that there is even a higher category than this, but there is. Those barrels don't even have any of that ethanol. This still has a little bit of that ethanol to it. That's my only complaint on the nose. Otherwise, it's about as perfect as you can get. All right, palate. It makes your freaking cheeks tingle. It's like fudge. It's like, it just tastes like you ate a fudge brownie. But that fudge brownie is like hitting the sides of your, like in the inside of your mouth. It's just like crawling up your head, It's crazy. The finish is just molasses. It's just, it's, is saturation at like 60% right now? Yes. This whiskey's amazing. Oh my God. So I shot a review video for this already, and it sucked, and I can't release it because I just blabbered on. Imagine that. But I blabbered on in the first 5 minutes. In that release video, I said that probably the best thing that I said in the review video, besides just like kind of doing the review, giving the notes, whatever, was that for most people that try this whiskey, this will be the best thing that you ever drink. Because you don't get this profile outside of stuff like this, which we can compare it to. You don't get this profile outside of weird one-off single barrel Heavenhill bottlings. This is from Oakley. Think about Willet Purple Tops. Think about, there's other stuff floating around on the market right now. You're about to see some 20-year Heavenhill hitting from NDPs in the market. None of it's been released yet, but it's coming. So just watch out for that. But you don't get to taste this kind of whiskey unless you get one of these crazy single barrels. The fact that this is a batched product, unfortunately only 30 barrels in this blend. So if I had to estimate, I'd say between 2,000 and 3,000 bottles of this. It's not a lot, but it's more than a single barrel of 60 or 80. This will be the best thing that you taste if you're not spending thousands of dollars on the secondary market, or if you don't totally know a store owner that's going to hook you up with everything they get. This is the best of the best. It really is. So I think in my review video, I think my rating was going to be in that 97 territory. I need to go back and, right now I would give it a 97, right? I'd have to go back and look at what I said in that video, but I'm going to reshoot this video because my first one was not very good, and I will release it next week. But I would say it's absolutely incredible. You go back to the nose, it's like, what's going on here? It's fudge brownie. So guys, if you've ever had Jack Daniel's Coy Hill from 2021, the original Coy Hill high proofers, this has the same fudge brownie on fire thing that I kind of talked about with those, plus the Heavenhill profile and not the Jack Daniel's profile. So it's like fudge brownie on fire plus amazing Heavenhill oak and all of these spices like the chai, the cardamom, the clove spice, everything that's coming out of here, plus that thing that Sarah talked about, the baked peaches with whipped cream on top of it. You go back to the nose and it's hard to believe this is, being released this year. This feels like a whiskey that was released 20 years ago. Oh my God. Okay. So we can do a comparison to the Oakley if you guys want. Let me get a fresh glass here. Oh, geez. All right, I'm going to top off the William Heavenhill just a little bit, which, by the way, as you just heard, has the squeakiest corks of all time. Glen Glassaw says Noah. Okay, that makes sense. Glen Glassaw's like being on the beach. I agree, Slad. You know what else is like that for me? Maybe to a slightly lesser extent is Aaron. All the Aaron stuff, like Aaron 10 in particular. It just happened, Dark Over Mind. That's funny. Seminole in for another super chat. In for one. Says, are you planning the drums on the track in the background? Are you playing the drum? No, I'm not. I'm too busy listening to the saxophone. Bourbon Bill, I don't have Heavenhill 17 here open, but I will do this Oakley comparison. James, thank you, man. Says for charity. Let's go. The Drums and Drams charity. In for 4. Thanks, James. All right. Eric, my friend brought over a 13 orange label. It was just good to create. Yeah, some of the orange label, not the biggest fan. Even the recent, didn't they do a recent 13-year last year maybe? Not the biggest fan. The 12-year purple label, great. There's like a 14-year 115 proof. I really like that one. And then if you go old school and you try was it a 15-year green label, the hazmat, that's like 3,500 on secondary, it's like 140 something proof. That will change your life. More than this one will. That's old school though. Dark blue label was 13, yeah. Okay. All right, guys. So it's time to get into these Venmo super chats, and I apologize how long this is going to take, but as I go through this comparison, I'm just going to start snagging them. It does send me text, so I can just kind of read this all out at once. Yeah, I apologize how long it's going to take. Jesse in for 4. Thank you, Jesse. Says, raise your stakes. Jesse, I can't read the rest of that, bro. And you know why, but thank you, Jesse. In for 10, Lawrence. Says, congrats on 5 years. Excited for the next pick. I can't read that either. You guys are killing me. You're being inappropriate in my Venmo. You're being very inappropriate. Calvin Beck, can you turn this around? Calvin, please turn this around. In for 5 says, congrats. Thank you, Calvin. We got there, man. Easton is in for 4, says congrats on 5 years. Thank you, Easton. And Mr. Joe Doherty is in for 10, says Fitty for 5 years. Thank you, Joe. All right, so we've got a couple in there now. Come back to Andrew Kim. So let's talk about this comparison now. So the William Heavenhill, like I said, there's so much of this like chai, clove, cardamom thing coming out of the glass on the nose. And you go to the Oakley, and this is the 136 proof Oakley, so the proof is close, 136 to 138.2. 20 years, 19 years. The Oakley is more of like, instead of it being like a fudge brownie with all of those spices that I talked about, like the baking spices, it's like a singular chocolate syrup. It's like Hershey syrup and then ungodly amounts of tobacco. So this is a very funky barrel from Oakley. I love the funk on here, but it's kind of one-dimensional. And then you go back to the William Heavenhill, and it's, the Oakley is like this. It's like a pointed thing on the nose, and the Heavenhill is like a wave. It's like broad, and it's just a wave of aroma hitting your nose. Two very different experiences. Lawrence made it back in time to get publicly shamed / reprimanded. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Jesse, speaking of my Venmo comment, is the review of the just shy of 7-year-old blend going to be Patreon only? Oh, it's going to be public, for sure. For sure public. All right. So let me taste the Oakley now. And you know what actually the Oakley has? The Oakley has like overripe tropical fruit on it. Just a little bit to go with that tobacco note. And when you get from single barrels, if you do find a barrel that has this much tobacco, oftentimes those barrels, because they're so off profile, will also have a little bit of tropical fruit. So look out for that if you ever have the experience of going through single barrels and tasting them. For some reason, these things run hand in hand. Just like Funky Fruit Scherzo out of the barrel picks that we did of the Beams from River Roots, same thing. Funky Fruit Scherzo has crazy tobacco, but it also has a lot of like watermelon, pineapple, grapefruit notes. But you cannot beat the palate of that Oakley. Holy crap. I'm not just making this face to make it. It's like at the edge of being uncomfortably intense, and there's so much flavor there, but it is one-dimensional. I like one-dimensional a lot, though. Russell's 15 is kind of one-dimensional, and I think it's amazing. Even if it is rough around the edges. All right, Andrew Kim, let me get you in here for 20 entries. Holy crap, Andrew, thank you. Jeez Louise, man. He says, congrats on 5. Thank you, Andrew. Greg Smith is in for 5. Says, cheers on 5 years. Thank you, Greg. Let me get 3 more of these real quick before I take a sip of the William Heavenhill. Lido is in for 10, $50. Says, damn, 5 years already. Definitely something worthy of a badass dram. Cheers, Lido. Lido was the first person to ever join the Patreon, and he's still here, which is crazy. And we hung out a couple months ago in Austin, and that was awesome. Derek T in for 2 says, been great to watch the channel grow and hang with you in the community. Happy 5 years. Here's to many more. Thank you, Derek. And let's do one more. William Zimmerman is in for 4. Congrats to 5. Thank you. All right. So let's go over now from the Funky Oakley. Pink Dan, this is the 136. Let's go from this over to the William Heavenhill. Wow. Listen, if I could be really picky on the William Heavenhill, I wish they included a little bit more funk to this. I wish 3, 4, 5 barrels out of the 30 that went into this blend, I wish they were like this Oakley that had that tobacco funk to add a little different dimension. It feels to me like Heavenhill in this blend went for about as clean of a profile as they could possibly go for at 19 years old at this proof point, because it's so much just the dark chocolate brownie spices that I talked about. It's just that. And it's so enveloping, but it doesn't have the funk. And I would love a little bit of the funk on this. And this is not as intense, actually, on the palate as the Oakley. The Oakley, like I said on the nose, more pointed. On the palate, it ramps up way higher. The William Heavenhill hits your palate, and it's a really slow ramp up, which means the finish is also very long because it's slow on the way up and slow on the way down. But I think, like, generally speaking, the more accessible product as far as like profile and drinking experience goes is probably going to be the William Heavenhill, and the Oakley is going to be for the whiskey nerds. If you want something crazy like this, then this is your bottle, but everybody else is going to want this William Heavenhill. Yeah, Sam, German chocolate cake, probably on both, honestly, but the tobacco is going to go to the Oakley. And there's really no tobacco on the Heavenhill. How would you describe funk as a concept? People talk about wild turkey funk, wheat funk. Is it just a pronounced note? I've talked about this before, and I don't know what I've said about it. I can't remember right now. Funk. So when we define funk in American whiskey, sometimes people, like you say, wild turkey funk, wheat funk, which wheat funk is not a good descriptor because wheat funk is different between makers, between Heavenhill, between North Carolina wheated bourbon, which is going to come from Southern Distilling. Wheat funk is different between all of those things. So we need to stop really saying wheat funk, and we need to kind of call it basically like we do in Scotch. Like Scotch, people will say, oh, it's the distillery profile. Springbank, it's, the 10-year, you can really get a lot of the distillery profile. Or you say Craigellachie, the use of worm tubs, it's kind of meaty, it's kind of heavy. Craigellachie 13, you can get the distillery profile. I think we need to refer to the funk more as distillery profile because wheat funk is different between every wheated bourbon that you're going to try. It's just, that's just the reality. So when we say funk, what we really mean in most cases is distillery profile. Now, let me throw a wrench in that, which is this Oakley 20, the 136 proof, has a tobacco funk that is not exclusive to Heavenhill. It's a tobacco funk that appears in any whiskey, anywhere you look, in a particular single barrel. And when I go through lots of barrels, generally it's 1 out of every 20 barrels has a certain kind of tobacco funk on it. This has it at 20 years. 100% Green River Ryes have it at 6 years. And I found 1 barrel out of the 20 that River Roots got that had that note. And on and on and on. Beam barrels at River Roots and other places. And that tobacco funk never changes between the type of barrel, the distillery, the type of whiskey. So why is it consistent? Why is it consistently 5% of the barrels that I try? Well, I have to imagine it's just a characteristic of certain barrels. Maybe it's a flaw in a few staves of a barrel or something weird because it doesn't align to any other consistent thing in those barrels. So that funk, when I talk about a certain tobacco funk, I really mean an overarching principle between any and every barrel that could appear no matter where it's from or what the whiskey is. But if you talk about wild turkey funk, obviously that's a wild turkey thing. If you talk about wheat funk, it's dependent on the distillery. There is no overarching wheat funk. That doesn't really exist in that way. It just depends on the distillery, the yeast strain, the amount of wheat in the mash bill, the barrels they're using, the age of the whiskey, everything else. So that's a long-winded explanation, but I think when we talk about funk, 9 times out of 10, we should stop saying funk, me included, and we should start saying distillery profile because it's more of a specificity of the distillery. Joe, do you want need a Heavenhill 17 sample to compare so you don't have to open your... Joe, unfortunately, I don't even have my backup anymore. I honestly don't need a sample. It's the proof point is so different between that and the William Heavenhill that I don't think it's relevant. All right, sorry to go full nerd on funk there, but I do think it's a hard thing to explain, and I'm really lucky that I've been able to taste through lots of barrels, and I don't mean lots of barrels as in a lot of barrels, certain lots of barrels that come in to River Roots, to be able to taste through those and try to come to conclusions about things over the course of 6, 8, 10 different lots of barrels, and to find that there's this one funky tobacco thing is consistent between all of them at a very small level. I think that's interesting. So I'm lucky to be able to have that experience, and if anybody else has that experience, I would like to go through that many lots of barrels. I would love to sit down and talk to them and try to figure out what it is that we're dealing with, you know? So here's the deal. Basically, Drake, if you talk about a general wild turkey, wheat, blah, 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 funk, those are specific things that you have to learn. You just have to learn those. You can try to explain them, but you have to learn them. If you talk about the one thing that I'm talking about, this tobacco funk, which I try to always be specific about, that funk is overarching and it's not specific. Nathan, so oak funk, funky oak, just means to me like a sour aged antique oak. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm getting that tobacco note that I'm talking about. Regarding funk, would you contend that the distillery profile in question is pervasive across mash bill types? I'm gonna take the banner off the screen. Guys, you have till 11:30 to enter the giveaway. That's 6 minutes from now. We gotta wrap that giveaway up because I'm not gonna be able to get to all these entries. So let's just wrap that up. So Derek, regarding funk, would you contend that the distillery profile in question is pervasive across mash bill types? I get a funky oak on some MGP, but it seemed to be different. So, Derek, I think that certain distilleries at high ages, Barton 13 to 18, MGP 12 to 18, let's say, every distillery ages differently in the barrels, develops a different profile with the oak. Every distillery has their own kind of heavy oak. When it gets heavy, you might say it's funky. Funky oak, MGP, funky oak beam, funky oak Barton. And again, that to me is like the distillery profile dialed up in oak, and it develops certain notes. That is specific again to the distillery and the cooperage that you're dealing with, but generally just the distillery because most people don't know the cooperage they're dealing with. And then the tobacco oak or the tobacco funky thing I'm talking about on this Oakley, which is like every 5% of barrels, every 1 out of 20. That is overarching, and that has nothing to do with the actual distillery profile. Because this Oakley, the 136, has Heavenhill funky oak, which is just like you've left it in a barrel for 20 years and it's Heavenhill bourbon. It develops a certain thing. So it's funky Heavenhill because it's so old, but it also has this other tobacco funk that is a completely different thing that must just come from this specific barrel. And I think no matter which distillate you put in this barrel for 20 years, it was going to develop that weird funk because I think it's a barrel thing. It's totally random, in my opinion. Joe, come on, Joe. Eric, have you had the tobacco note on a bottle of BT? No, never. Because Buffalo Trace, in their single barrel program, they screen all of that stuff out. People taste it, and they get rid of anything that's off profile for Buffalo Trace. So you're probably not going to find that note. BT, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Good to see your name in here. BT, I'm going to hit you up soon. As soon as the NDP is off the ground, I'm going to hit you up, man. And by the way, did you get that bottle a few months ago? Whenever that was, did you get the bottle I sent you in the samples? I'm trying to think back. Kyle Reed, thank you for the super chat. In for forces, put me in, coach. Thanks, Kyle. Cheers, man. And Jason K in for another entry. Thanks, Jason. All right. Noah says, curious. By the way, Pink Dan, we're not going to do that blind tonight. I can't even talk. I'm at a certain level where we don't need to do that blind. Yes, you're the man. Thanks, BT. I'm glad you got it, man. Noah, ever tried the purple label? Yes, I've tried the purple label. I think it's amazing. I don't think it's the best, but I think it's amazing. when you say BT screens and gets rid of those profiles, do they just dump it or sell it to India? No, they put it in blends. Buffalo Trace doesn't really get rid of much on the wholesale market, as far as I know. I know I've heard things, getting out here and there, but largely speaking, anything that's off profile is just going to go into a blend to get proof down. All right. Okay. So the giveaway, guys, you have like a minute. It's cut off. I have to get to these Venmos because I probably have 25 more Venmos to get to. So the last one was William Zimmerman. So let's get to Kyle R. Actually, I got to spell it out. Kyle Robisky. In for 2. Says, cheers and congrats. Thank you, Kyle. Guys, sorry, I'm going to fly through these, so I apologize if I am slightly impersonal about it, but it's a lot of Venmos. Another sip of Oakley. Slad is in for 20. Thank you, Slad. It says 5 more years with the clap emoji. I hate the clap emoji, though. Thanks, Slad. Tony Tapney is in for 2. Says cheers. Thank you, Tony. Kyle Farr is in for 5. Says congrats on 5. Cheers, brother. Thank you, Kyle. Daniel P. Hey, guys, is there anything else you want me to taste tonight before we do the giveaway, before we wrap things up? Anything else that you either see on the table behind me or that you just know I have in the room? Quick thoughts. Maybe a comparison, but no more than one comparison because I'm at that level, Daniel P is in for 10. Thanks, Daniel. Says time flies. Congrats on the success. It's been fun. It has been fun. It's been an up and down roller coaster, man, and appreciate it. Daniel and I went for sushi at Sushi Bar ATX in Austin some months back. It was a lot of fun. Kevin Lambert. I got you in for 4. Congrats on 5. Thank you, Kevin. Critical Mass. Everybody wants Critical Mass. Oh, no. All right, we'll do Critical Mass. It's not as good as the William Heavenhill, but let's do it. Let's do it. All right, where's it at? Let's do it. Adam, get out of here, dude. I'll put it up on the screen. I'll put it up there. What's Cam's favorite Glendronach? Oh, Anthony. So, I haven't tried the new Glendronachs. I have an 18 back there. You can see here, I got the 18, I got the 21, and I have a 19-year single cask that I got 5 years ago. Just a little bit left in the bottom. And because they shut down the distillery, Anthony, if you know this already, I'm sorry to preach to the choir. The 18s are older than 18. The 21s are older than 21. I think my 18 is like 20 or 21. I think my 21 is actually 24. I actually don't like my 21 as much as I like my 18. And I think it's the mixture of Oloroso and PX sherry casks. My 18 being Oloroso, that's my favorite. The PX and Oloroso didn't kind of mingle as well for me. So my 21 or 22 year, 18 year is my favorite Glendronach. And I love my single cask 19, but it's a little overdone with the sherry. Brandon says, editor funds. I got Jason K. I got Kyle Reed. I don't think I missed anything actually in the... oh, no. Seminole. I missed Seminole. Where was that? Seminole says... Hang on. There we go. In for 2 more. Says, around 50% of all businesses fail in the first 5 years. You're on track to beat the average. Let's get another 5 years. Not Cam. Thanks, man. Cheers. And I think I got that. I got Lawrence there. Okay, cool. EBA Boxing. Thank you for the super chat, man. Got you in for 1. Cheers on 5. Okay. Back to Venmo. So what I have in my glass right now, guys, this is a sample that's going to go into the sample pack for the winners. This is 152.86 proof, 152.86, which is 76.43% ABV. It's 13 years, 6 months. 19 bottles came out of this barrel. It's a Barton 13-year barrel from River Roots. So next to the much lower 138 proof William Heavenhill 19, which smells amazing. And so developed, obviously, at 19 years, like the sweetness and everything is so cohesive. The blend is great. Critical mass, I named it critical mass because it does something to your face. It blows your nose out. It's so intense. I gotta just taste it. Oh, the second sip is easier. Oh, but the first sip is like crazy. You have to end your night with this because you can't sit and drink this. Like 2 sips and that's all you need. Oh, Greg, you're right. It is a 2019 release. No, wait, no. My 18 year is, I think, a 2017. I think it's June 2017. So 22 year, I think. Now that I'm thinking about that, yeah, I think it's June 2017. Yeah. Awesome. Definitely not going to finish the night with critical mass. 19, you'd buy the barrel outright. I bought a lot of them, but all of the bottles are going to like friends and family and people that have been around, like Daniel. Daniel's been here a long time, and some other bottles are going to go out to people as well. So, yeah, just to longtime supporters and stuff like that. Friends, family, longtime supporters, some samples. Everybody's going to share samples around. But I have, I think, one more bottle to go to somebody as well. Junior, thank you, man. Guys, please, no more super chats. Please, I got to get through these. Spell my last name correctly this time. I'll take a win as a makeup. Oh, man. All right. Tony D is in for 20. I got to get back to this, guys. I probably have 15 more. I might just have to put my head down and just hammer them out. Tony D in for 20 says, cheering to 5 great years. Thank you, Tony. See, it's so much better after the first sip. Once you get acclimated to critical mass, it's like, it's counterintuitive because it's like strawberry candy, but it's also insanely dry red fruit. So you get candied fruit and dry fruit at the same time, ratcheted all the way up with crazy amounts of like Barton oak. Definitely has tannins to it, but it's 152 proof. What do you expect? All right, Ronald Vasquez. I spelled your last name wrong. I apologize. In for 10. Thank you. Zachary Powers is going to be in for 4. Looking forward to a future where Ohio Liquidation is selling Dusty Blantons for $100. Wouldn't that be nice? Cody B is in for 5. Says, my name is actually Adam. Cody, come on. Adam's going to win anyways. Jeb is in for 4. Making Adam work for it. Congrats. Thanks, Jeb. Jeb, good luck with... Jeb only super chatted $20 because he's also building a house. Anyways, Ryan Barron in for 2 with a pizza emoji. Thank you, Ryan. Who's next? Grant Bale in for 2. How the F did I not win a 5-person pick randomizer? He's already predicting he's not going to win. Grant, if you win, I'm going to laugh at you. Chris Ardrey is in for 20. Thank you, Chris. Cheers, man, with some critical mass. Josh, people wanted to hear about it, man. But it's going into the giveaway. Chris Ardrey, thank you. Travis is in for 3. 5 years, congrats. You'll be old enough to legally drink in 1 more year for the moving van fund. Thank you, Travis. All right, Alan Maloney. Guys, I promise we're going to get through these. In for 8. If there's anything else you want me to take a look at before we wrap this up, please let me know. Alan in for 8. Cheers, Cam. Congrats on 5 years. Dustin Martin. Oh my God, in for 4. Says Adam is a wiener. I agree, Dustin. Thank you. What's been your favorite legacy release this year? Non-NDP or sourced? Oh, geez. It might be Jack 14. I would not have said that unblind, but my blind review, I love Jack 14. It might be Jack 14. Cal 18 is up there. Is that legacy? I don't know. Beacon would be up there. It's not going to win, though. I think Beacon's good. I don't think it's great. I think it's really, really good, but I don't think it's great. I'm just looking behind me. I think Knob Creek 21. If you want to talk favorite, maybe not highest score, but favorite, Knob Creek 21 is in the conversation. What else? No Parkers, no Old Fitz, no Unity, no Birthday Bourbon. Lineage. Jim Beam Lineage is in the conversation. I thought that was excellent. And that's probably it. I think that's probably it. Yeah. What would you say? What would you say? All right. So I got Dustin. All right, we're almost there, guys. Jared B. Jay Boogs. In for 5. Says, congrats on 5. Excited for Backbone next week. Yeah, man, we're going to have a good time. Matt Thomas is in for 2. Congrats on 5. Cheers. Thank you, Matt. Andy. Mr. Andy C. is in for 15. Thank you. Cheers on 5 years. Thanks, man. Love what you built for all of us. Hey, listen, you built it for me. Yeah. This has been like not to be cheesy. I know I'm trying to just run through these super chats, and I don't want to be ungrateful by just doing that, but like when I started this channel, I was a fanboy of Matt Porter. When I started this, I was a fanboy of Ralphie. I was a fanboy of Roy from Aquavitae. I was a fanboy of Horse Looning from Whiskey.com. All the Scotch guys, you know. And then I slowly became a fanboy of Jason from Mash and Drum when I, got into American whiskey more, found out who he was, became a fan of Mash and Drum, became a fan of the Junkies. The Junkies took a while because I watched them and I'm like, they just keep disagreeing with each other. I just want to learn about whiskey. I wasn't in it for the fun. I was in it for just like the study of the whiskey, And then eventually I came around to the Bourbon Junkies, and now I'm so lucky to count those guys as friends. And just everybody else in the community. So I feel so lucky that it has turned from just making silly reviews and taking 3 months off every year, basically, which I'm hoping to never do again, as Joe put it earlier in the chat. Well, I feel like I didn't build anything. I feel like, I started doing this and people kind of gathered around it a little bit. And then once the barrel picks took off, it just felt like something that was happening to me, because everybody was there. And so I'm so appreciative. I just want to say thank you to you guys for being along for the ride. So I don't want to get like all emotional or whatever. Anniversary, whatever, 5 years. What does it really mean? I don't know, but it doesn't feel like something. It's not something that I planned for. It's not something that I concocted in my mind and tried to make happen. It just kind of happened, and I will always feel infinitely lucky that people, helped make this happen, basically. So thank you. Brandy, a.k.a. Marshall, a.k.a. the Crittenden's crew, in for 4. Thank you. Daryl K. is in for 1, says coffee. Thank you, Daryl. Michael Gow. in for 20. Holy crap. Thank you. Cheers to 5 years. When are you going to start your NDP? Hopefully by next summer, we're going to be up and running. There's a lot of paperwork. I'm trying to pick a name out right now. Naming the thing is hard because everything is trademarked. So I'm trying to pick out a name right now, and I have everything else lined up. The money is lined up. The attorneys, everything is lined up except for the name. So I just have to pick that name, and then we're going to be off to the races. And I just have to find a location after that. And I have a few places I'm looking at here in Ohio. Walker, thank you, man. In for 20. Walker is going to have a lot of What's That Whiskey episodes coming up soon. Aaron Trondle, in for 4, says, happy 5 years. Here's to many more. Thank you, Aaron. And finally, Andrew Parrott is in for 4. Cheers. Doing a Beacon and Russell's 15 blind. Easy to tell from the color. Yeah, Russell's is going to stand out quite a bit. Adam, I'm going to hit you up if we need to cook some barrels. Short bastard barrel is taken. I love it, Joe. I love it. Sagittarius is hilarious. Travis, I got to take a picture of this because we have to call a blend Sagittarius. That is hilarious. That's so good. All right, I scrolled way up. How much is Beacon worth to you? $250, $300 at most. I think it's good. I don't think it's Russell's 15 good. So what is SRP? Probably $250 to $300, right? It's something like that. It's SRP. I would not pay secondary for Beacon. Now, if you've never had it, you're a collector, you don't mind paying that much for a bottle, $450, whatever it is. Yeah, buy it for sure. It's $300. Yeah, that's the most, honestly. Toshi, did mine come through Venmo? Oh, Toshi, maybe it was the personal Venmo. Let me check. I was just on my business Venmo. Let me double check. All right, I've got everybody there. Oh. Toshi, holy shit, man. All right, Toshi with a $250 super chat. So 50 entries. I think that's the biggest one maybe I've ever gotten, dude. Thank you. Toshi says, congrats on the 5. Toshi, thank you, dude. Critical mass. I appreciate that. Wow. Thank you. Jeez. Scott Von Canel. In for 1. Thank you, Scott. Says, cheers, sipping on Evernorth Cam's Daddy Picks SD333 to get ready for the next release. Thank you, Scott. Cheers, man. And Marshall is in for 7. Guys, we're almost there. Please, no more super chats, please. I appreciate you so much. Congrats on 5 years. Glad you like the old Dom. Yes, I tried it. Really enjoyed it. May pick up another. Marshall, I appreciate you sending that, man. And sending a super chat as well. And Joe W. in for 8. 5 more years, brother. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Jeez. All right. I'm going to double check that I haven't missed anybody. All right. We're good on Venmo. Let me check PayPal. All right. We're good there. And let's check the business PayPal. Man, Toshi is a savage. And Chris Coleman. One more super chat. Chris Coleman. Thank you, Chris. In for 4 on PayPal. Congrats to 5 years. All right, guys. This is the crate. Listen, I don't want to scroll down and look at how many super chats there were, but I have to. All right. So there are 739 entries. Oh my God. All right, let's do this. Let's do something crazy. That's a lot of money. That's an absurd amount of money. So let's do something crazy. Let me think about it real quick. Got to think about what I have downstairs in my basement. Okay. All right. Let's do this. I have to run downstairs to confirm that I have these bottles. We're going to add a few more folks into this giveaway. All right, give me 1 second. All right. So, real quick, before we talk about these bottles, I just walked through the living room and walked back and saw this. This is a trash can from my living room. Sarah just got home. And there are, well, okay, there's some water bottles, but you can't really see. Hang on. Still can't really see it. It's because the light is so bright. There are these glow sticks. When I walked through the living room, it was glowing like freaking ectoplasm out of the trash can. So uneventful for me to show you. I'm so sorry, but I walked back from the living room. It was dark in there, and I was like, why the hell is the trash can glowing green? Okay. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I have to go back through and look right now at the list of bottles for tonight that I'm giving samples away out of to make sure I have enough to do this giveaway. I just want to confirm because I don't want to promise anything that I can't hold up to. So let's click here and okay, Draconis, critical mass is going to be the tough one, but I have quite a bit in my bottle, I think. Yeah, I do. Turkey Tribute, Heavenhill, Oakley. Yep, and a mystery sample. I put that in there. Okay, I can do 7. We're gonna do 7 giveaways tonight because the super chats have been crazy. Like I can't say enough about it. So we're gonna give away an Opus 1. This is it. I don't have any more of these. Opus 1 and the OG, the very first pick we ever did. This is so special to me. I have 2 more of these in the bunker. This is so special to me. but we're going to give these two away too. So the Opus is going to be, no, this is going to be 6. The OG is going to be 6. And the Opus is going to be 7. And the same samples apply to everybody. So there we go. Okay. So let's do the giveaway now. I think we had one more squeak in here. Actually, 2 more. 2 more. Lance Adams. Appreciate it, man. I'm going to get you in here. The generosity tonight, guys, has been crazy. And I can't tell you how much it helps because, you know, Sarah and I are moving in like 6 or 7 weeks. It's kind of scary for me because we never owned a house. And just looking at the freaking mortgage is kind of scary. So this is very helpful, and I appreciate it. We're closing the day before Thanksgiving, and you know, so this is just amazing. So Lance, thank you. I got you in for 2, man, and Austin, I got you in for 2 more. I think that's it. Okay. All right. Austin says, while everybody's here, go hit the like button. Please support Cam if you're not already. Go search Patreon. Join the Drums and Drams Patreon. It includes a great group on Discord. Yeah. Guys, yeah. Shameless plug on the Patreon. We have an amazing group, and we're so active and fun in Discord. I'm biased, of course, but, you know. Please check out the Patreon. $5 or $10 a month. Barrel picks, exclusive content, for real. And lots of other stuff, so... there you go. All right, I think we can run this. I think we can run this randomizer now. Yep. All right, let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to copy from Tom Lonzo all the way down to the 743rd entry, which is Austin. And I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Thank you for being here. Okay, there we go. So you guys can see, this is the list. Your name, number of entries, which is your dollar amount divided by 5, because it's $5 per entry. And this is, you know, if you entered twice, your name should appear twice, unless you're Austin. I combined yours. But there you go. It auto-populates over here because of spreadsheet magic, courtesy of Amy Bohm, another OG, all the way down to 743. That's Austin, and the top was Tom Lonzo, so we've got Tom Lonzo here, all the way down to Austin. So let's spin it 7 times. The top 7 winners are going to get it. Just to be clear, no matter what I've said before this, the top 5 are listed in the description of the video. Number 6 is the OG Rye, and number 7 is Opus 1. Okay, there we go. That's spin 1. Oh, this is crazy. Spin 2. Spin 3. Spin 4. 5. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. 6. And here is spin 7. No duplicate winners. All right. Guy, Andrew, Paul, Jason, Toshi, Tom, and Andy. And look who's in 8th. Adam, you stupid I'm just kidding, Adam. I love you. There we go. Top 7. Tom Lonzo with Rye 1. Andy C with Opus 1. Guy with Spiritus, sample pack. Andrew Kim with Bongo Wood and sample pack. Paul, Jason, and Toshi with sample packs. There you go. Congrats, guys. Adam, you deserve this. I love you, bro. All right. Tom, have you tried Rye 1, by the way? I was just curious. I'm going to wrap the night up with Rye 1. I haven't tasted this in many months. JD19 Cam, want to say your channel is great. I respect. I've never heard you take shots at people. I think your channel's awesome. Post more. Thank you, man. Cheers. Cheers to that. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. I appreciate the support. And yeah, we'll be back. I don't know if we'll do next week. I don't like to stream 2 weeks in a row anymore. I just like to give my body a break. But we could be back next week. If we're not, we're definitely back the week after that. Yeah, we're definitely back the week after that. So, thank you guys. I love you. Appreciate it. And I'll see you soon. Discord, we'll hang out tonight. Cheers. Rye 1. There we go.